Welcome to the Smark Foundation podcast. I'm Aaron. This is Adam.
Oh, hi, Marks.
And we are here to cover the best of everything from AEW for the last week, including the wonderful pay-per-view and all that good stuff. First of all, we're going to go through our news as we normally do. Is this an Attitude Era level ship jumping from WWE to AEW or what, man? Like, what
I
is
mean,
happening?
what was it? Fightful or The Observer, whichever one said there were at least 7 names.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you and I were talking about this 3 months ago when they
Yeah.
got released,
Yeah.
how they probably wouldn't sign like all of them. And now it looks like they're signing almost all of them.
Almost all of them.
We were probably dead ass wrong.
Yeah.
If I had to guess, the only ones that are positively not coming in are Tommy N and Zelina. Like, that's it.
Maybe not
Malachi,
Bo Dallas.
Aleister Black. I mean, I could see him doing at least a one shot because I know that there's a lot of respect for his brother. I know that Swerve was friends with Wyndham.
Yeah.
I could see them doing like an angle with him, but I think you're right about like long term booking him.
Yeah.
And I mean, honestly, apparently Bo Dallas was considering retiring from wrestling altogether until they came up with the Wyatt Six idea in order to pay tribute to his brother. So,
yeah.
I mean, unless it's something on that level or otherwise an obscene amount of money, then I don't really see Bo Dallas getting signed full time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. You know, there's a lot of names that have walked from WWE lately, have been released from WWE lately, or are currently walking away from WWE. By all reports, Bailey is out.
Yeah. Like, I honestly, I thought it was going to come closer to the wire, to the end of her contract, because it seemed like from the reports of her getting like backstage, agenting spots here and there, and with all the training that she did with the younger set of kids there, and like everybody, nobody hates Bailey, everybody loves Bailey. It seems like to me like it wasn't a done deal, and that they were going to try and ride this out and try and convince her at all costs to stay in some capacity, but they wrote her off TV way before this contract is supposed to. I mean, this is it looks like they're doing the thing that a lot of people complain that Tony Khan does. He's just freezing them out.
Yeah.
Like, to me, that says that it's a lock, that she is coming over, and she's going to do something with Mercedes, whether it's going to be tagging. I hope tagging. I hope they do the reverse situation of what they did with Cope and Cage. Tag first, fight later.
Yeah. I normally wouldn't put stock in internet rumors like this, but this one, I think what really has me thinking that it's that what everybody's saying is going to happen is because Mercedes is doing those low key, like old school poster posts where she's posting pictures of like posters from her and Bailey wrestling on different indies and stuff like that. And I'm like,
she's been lobbying, I guess is the right word for it.
Yeah.
Publicly lobbying for it for a long time. But yeah, now it seems like it just, from the outside looking in on it, and we're not in those TKO meetings, okay? We don't know what's going on for real. But from the outside looking in, it looks like this is happening. Like, this looks like a done freaking deal.
Yeah.
And that makes me a big happy panda.
Right?
For sure. I love me some Bailey. I hope that they do some Taz level stuff with her name so that she doesn't have to like change her name all that much.
Yeah.
Oh, it's Bailey with an I.
Yeah.
And then they try and sue, and then Taz is like, you put a Z on my name and said it was different. Like,
yeah. And Warner Brothers didn't get you over that. So yeah.
So I feel like she should be like Bailey Rose or something like that.
Yeah.
So like if for no other reason, and I know that I've run into at least one person on Blue Sky who didn't think this was as big a deal as it was, but to me, I love when they go across to the UK and they sing it Bailey.
Yeah.
Because that song, the Hey Baby,
yeah,
you wanna know would be my girl. That song was not big in this country.
No.
So for any of our UK listeners who maybe like don't get why I'm making such a big deal of it, the reason I know that song exists is because of NXT. And she went over there and they sang that song at her, putting her name in the lyrics, and I had to look up that song. That's the only reason I know that song exists. So to me, and I'm sure a lot of other fans in the States, maybe Canada too, I don't know. It's part of the Commonwealth, so I mean, maybe they know it better, better than we did. But it is a novelty, and it is so cute and so adorable and precious, and I love that for her. And I want her to be able to retain that. So even if she spells it with an I or whatever, and she's still Bailey, or even if she keeps the for Bailey part as is, but adds a last name so that she can trademark it, keep the name. Keep the name.
It's funny. I knew that song existed. I knew what they were singing when they started singing it the first time I heard it. Only because when I was in band in high school, we used to, the drum line who was on the field, and like they would always stand like on the track next to the field or whatever instead of up in the stands with us. But we used to send them to like the opposing team's head cheerleader, and they would surround her and start playing drumline, and then we would pick up the band and start playing that song to their head cheerleader.
Oh, honestly, that's a genius level.
It was dastardly as hell.
That's a great troll
so dastardly. Move. Yeah. Oh, dude, we were trolls like crazy in band. But yeah,
that one worked here in New York because we don't take it that seriously. But Texas,
oh yeah,
football it's football and Christianity, Protestant Christianity. Like
football's probably above it because a lot of
probably
us,
you guys treat high school football like it's the most important thing in the world. High school football.
That's true.
Like it's the most important thing in the world. That to me is crazy. I love the cultural differences. Don't get me wrong. I find it fascinating, but I could never. We would never up here.
You want to know a fact that you might find even more fascinating that kind of almost kiboshes the whole thing, really, though?
What?
California and New York per capita pump out more NFL players than Texas does.
You know why that is? We don't have to play in the heat.
Probably.
We don't have to play in the heat.
Oh, dude.
Or at least in New York. I mean,
I feel sorry for these
Southern California. I mean, they got the ocean breezes, but like, there's a reason that Hollywood is where it is.
Yeah.
It's like it's got ocean, it's got suburbs, and it's got rocky freaking desert, like right there, all in a very, very kind of tight geographical area. Yeah. Like you can film a lot of different kinds of movies in that area, but that also means you got some heat.
Oh yeah.
Even if you go further inland, that means you got some heat. Even by LA.
I feel bad for these kids now, man, because we are in the middle of a crazy heat wave, and 2-a-days for football start in like 5 days or something like that. God, I feel bad for these kids, man. Like I'm telling everybody who's parent, like if that's a parent and they're sending their kid to 2-a-days in a couple of days, I'm like send them with a gallon of water minimum.
Yeah.
Like do not let them go without. They'll get water there, but make sure you send them with more. Get them a bottle of Gatorade and a bottle of Pedialyte too. Like,
yeah.
Oh, it's so hot, dude.
Liquid IV.
Yeah, liquid IV's.
Get that stuff. That stuff will perk you right up.
But
good hangover cure, from what I understand.
It is. But yeah, so like
Bailey, my boss swears by it.
Yeah. So yeah, Bailey, I think is a lot. new development with Sheamus. Ready for this one?
Oh, I haven't heard this. Okay, yeah, hit me.
Sheamus broke his silence about his time away from wrestling that he has right now, and
is he going to continue to eat burger after burger after burger?
Well,
because that's what I would do.
Here's the crazy part: is that he's talking about, I'm still doing my workouts as if I was working. I'm in the best shape of my life. He's saying those things that you say when you're not done yet.
Yeah.
Also, coincidentally, and I don't know if this is actually coincidentally, but coincidentally, Sheamus will be in the UK during All Out because he is going to, and I quote, see his friends and family that he has not been able to return home.
All Out or All In?
All In, whatever. Okay. All In, yeah. So he's going to be in the UK at the time of the pay-per-view on vacation.
Well, he can't compete for them. He can't do anything on camera with them unless he's in the stands as merely a spectator.
I mean, that would be enough, I think,
but you
for him.
you still get value from that. You still get value from that. So if I was Tony Khan, I wouldn't reach out to him about a contract or anything. Respect the 90 days or whatever. I don't know what the deal is. But offer him free tickets for really good seats.
Yeah, I would too.
Seats that have ready access to a cameraman nearby.
Mm-hmm. And maybe somewhere in the vicinity of a Claudio entrance.
Yeah, look at what it did for Mercedes. Yep. Like, people were clamoring. They saw her in the stands and they were clamoring for her for months and months until she could actually sign once she had healed up from the injury that she had in the in-between. They were ready. They were ready for her once she came in. You could plant those seeds right here. Mm-hmm. I feel like, I mean, even if he doesn't take you up on the offer, even if he appears that he is not, it's a gesture of goodwill, you know. Mm-hmm. Good seats, the biggest show of the year.
Yeah.
Not his hometown, but like
close enough, you know.
I mean, it's a hop, skip, and a jump over the Irish Sea. So, I mean, that's what, a 10-minute plane flight,
something like that. But yeah, if we look at that, they've been rumoring 7 names. If we look at who we've talked about, we put Bayley and Sheamus with the Machine Guns and New Day, who I'm sure, I know the New Day are a lock. Everybody's saying they're a lock. I'm pretty sure Machine Guns are a lock.
I'm positive they're showing up this week on Dynamite from Detroit. Yeah.
And then if you add Kyrie, that's 7. And 7. That list of names right there, the Machine Guns and the New Day, Kyrie and Bayley and Sheamus, is enough people to change creative.
Yeah. Kyrie too just got representation from Barry Bloom.
Yeah, and he works with AEW a lot.
Yeah, like he was. If you were looking to make big money from WCW, Barry Bloom was the guy that you went to. Yeah. He was your representation. He was your lawyer, agent, all in one, basically. Like, and I feel like he has that spiritual. Just like AEW is kind of a WCW spiritual successor. Mm-hmm. The people who sign with Barry Bloom tend not to work with WWE. They tend to work with AEW.
Yeah. And also, I think AEW might be one of the only places where you're going to get the amount of money that guy is probably seeking for you.
Oh, that guy makes bank.
Yeah. So
he probably drives the Brinks truck to work and leaves it unlocked. That's how much money that guy has.
As much as I know about the agenting world, like, as much as I know about that world just from working in it, like, that guy definitely is.
He's the man.
Just the murderer's row of wrestlers that he's had under, like, he's been good for a while.
Yeah. I mean, he was Hogan's guy. He was Goldberg's guy.
Yeah.
I mean, that enough right there is to make
that's enough right there.
Barry Bloom to set for life, essentially, having set those two up.
Just those two guys, he made a few $1 million just in the early 90s or in the late 90s. Just a few $1 million right there, when that was enough money to set you for life right then, you know. So yeah, he's probably been.
But wrestlers, they, unless your name is Mick Foley, they blow through it like cocaine. So,
Yeah, apparently. But yeah, I mean, I'd say that's a pretty good list of 7 right there. I wouldn't be
yeah,
upset at any of them coming in. The women's division needs an absolute shakeup. The tag team division needs more focus.
yeah.
So, I mean, all of those things happen right there. Sheamus is just kind of an added bonus, really, and he still could make a heavy impact. So.
Yeah, the issue, like, he's not going to be one of the 7 though, because I think they said that the 7 were imminent. His contract isn't up until October. His 90 days aren't over until October. So I don't. While he is probably somebody they will absolutely heavily consider bringing in some capacity, I don't think he's one of the 7 that the Observer was. I think it was the Observer that they were talking about in this context. I would think that, honestly, given what their needs are, you might want to give Zoe Stark a look.
Yeah.
Now that she co-owns Progress, you might want to send feelers out to Nikki, the former Nikki Cross.
Mm-hmm.
See if, I mean, they're all about working relationships, right? Like, they already have a relationship with Rev Pro. So I don't know if that would cause issues, them being, I don't know too much about the UK indie scene. So maybe one of our listeners can enlighten me on whether there's bad blood between them or if they're just friendly competitors. But, like, I feel like maybe reaching out to the now Nikki Storm might be a good call.
Yeah, maybe.
So.
I wouldn't be upset. I mean, she's a great character worker. So.
Oh my gosh, yeah. She was my favorite part of Sanity by a wide margin.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of the news that everybody's been kind of going over this week. We also had a Dark Side of the Ring episode this week with Necro Butcher and Joe, the story of that match. Let me just say that was. So if you haven't seen the match, they go through it bump by bump with Necro Butcher and Joe, both talking heads, and then kind of everybody around the situation. The only person who we didn't really hear from was Ian Rotten, who booked the match, but I think he might be passed away. I'm not sure.
I'm
not sure if Ian Rotten's alive or not. But
I think he is, unfortunately, no longer with us.
I think that too. I think that might be why we didn't see him.
No, he is still with us. I think it's Axel who's gone.
Okay.
I think it might be Axel Rotten. Yeah, Axel Rotten died in 2016.
Okay. But yeah, so we didn't get a like a from the booker's point of view, the guy who booked it, but we did kind of see like what led to it being booked, where Necro Butcher and Madman Pondo kind of roughed up a couple ROH students in a match at an indie, and then that's where like they gave the onus for Joe to do a anti-Necro thing about don't rough up these kids. And everybody kind of thought, so here's the deal. 2 things that I gathered from the whole thing is, 1, everybody thought that Joe wanted to actually beat up Necro Butcher for the way him and Pondo treated these kids. And it was rough. A lot of off the apron bumps to concrete floor type stuff, like on trainee students, like you don't do that. So yeah, I could see where people would have thought that was wrong and would have thought that Joe would be super pissed about it. Joe says himself, I never trained either of these kids a fucking day. I didn't know them at all.
What I do know is the one clip that I saw from this show was his reasoning for taking the booking, which is hilarious. Everybody thought that he had this big problem with Necro or whatever, and Necro himself is all like, I wanted to be taken more seriously and this, that, the other thing. It was, kind of a "it's real to me, damn it" kind of situation. And Joe's like, yeah, I was dating this girl who was in the area. I took the match so I could see her and get laid.
Yeah. And it turns out that this match was so brutal that she clocked out of the arena about halfway through the match and he didn't get laid. So like, and I understand, like, if I brought a girlfriend to a show and this is what she saw, I would expect to never see her again unless she was already a hardcore wrestling fanatic. Like this,
Yeah.
It was brutal in the best way, but yeah, really, it boiled down to Necro Butcher wanted to be respected more because the two hemispheres of indie wrestling at the time were deathmatch wrestling and ROH style like competition
Super
wrestling.
Techers, yeah.
Yeah. So he wanted to be taken more seriously. Joe is one of the few guys on the Super Tekker side who can actually rough you the fuck up and is known to be a brawler also. Um, they really didn't have a problem with each other like a lot of people think. They weren't out to kill each other. Um, Ian Rotten just got really lucky in booking what was a hot internet thing. It was a message board thing. Like the message boards had built this up to a fervor, and it's kind of like one of the few examples of like how that culture, one that you and I lived in, kind of drove independent wrestling and into modern day AEW. Like, because Tony Khan was in those, like, he was there too. We have actually discussed it a few times where we wouldn't be surprised if we were in an E-Fed with him at some point, because there were only a few good ones, and the cast of characters was, we
were lucky enough to be in some pretty decent E-Feds along the way.
Yeah, and the cast of characters between almost all of them wasn't really far off from one another. Like the people who were good at E-Fedding and the people who did it, regularly, when a Fed would die, they would all kind of jump to a new one. And so
usually what happens is somebody would find something and then bring all the people that they liked from their former Fed.
Yeah.
So that's how you and I wound up in so many, is because you would find one and bring me along, or I would find one and bring you in. Like it's the same with all these guys. I kind of miss it, honestly.
Yeah.
I have no time for E-Fedding anymore. I wish I had the time.
Yeah.
But I just don't have the free time for it anymore. But I do feel like I don't even know if like people do it anymore.
They do, but it's different now. Mostly it's like WWE 2K games, and they set because you can set up a company in there and like upload the logos and do all that stuff.
Yeah,
so
like I've seen a lot of videos on it come across my my YouTube algorithm for stuff like that. But it's like, I mean, I can see the benefit of it. You get graphics, you put the match in, and it just if what you are looking for is to not necessarily have to book with intent in mind, if they're just throwaway matches, okay, you do this leading up to this match, you do this leading up to this match, and then we'll just let two computer players just go at each other, and there's no bad blood because it wasn't somebody who picked somebody, it was a computer program that decided one of these guys won and the other one did.
Yeah. Well, a lot of them have live play. Like you actually have to be skilled at it too at the game.
Oh,
and that's where
I would not be good at that.
Yes, I
would not be good at that at all.
Wrestling games still to this day have terrible internet connections. Their net code is crap. So like lag fucks shit up. And I tried it once or twice and I was like, nah, this really, like, I'm into the writing part of it, where the theater of the mind is where I'm at. This is, because I feel like there has not been a single like 2K thing that has brought in the intensity level of a written show that I've read from a good writer,
Yeah.
So I just don't feel like it's the same. It's really not. And, but yeah, I mean, I don't have time for E-Fitting these days either. I do miss it though. It was a really fun time to be in a really niche fandom.
Yeah, I think we were definitely in it in its golden age.
Yeah,
for sure. I mean, I have, I have like no contact with any of those people anymore. It kind of sucks. Like I miss certain people that we would chat on AIM or MSN Messenger like literally every day because we had this hobby. And a lot of times we'd be facing each other and we would be probing each other for ideas on how we wanted to make this work, how we want to make that work. And, if you were part of the, the crew that wrote the matches. You'd be in constant contact with these people.
Mhm.
So I do miss some of the relationships that I made along the way there. And really, the biggest reason that I stopped is that I, partially is because I kind of just was burnt out, but my apartment got flooded in 2011, and my laptop was safe, but it was an excuse to kind of focus on other things,
Yeah.
and to
Yeah.
kind of quote unquote grow up or whatever. So, but there are times where I really do miss it. There was only one since then. There was only one like little stretch where I got back into it, but I put way more effort in than anybody else did for like 3 months. And what I wanted to do never really came into fruition. I was running this angle, like my character was the character that I always ran, but I was running him as like this older, kind of grizzled veteran, and I was running an angle basically where he would win his first ever hardcore type championship. Now, the character could go in that environment, but was kind of a punk ass about it. He was like, I can do this, but I prefer not to because it's garbage wrestling, right?
Yeah.
You remember this?
Yeah.
I was a complete prick about it in character, but it, he's old and he's come out of retirement because he needs the money or whatever, and he finds this new life in this hardcore division to the point where I wanted it to be like somebody relapsing back into alcoholism, and how it needed to get more and more extreme, and he needed to get his fix to the point where like there would be a vile heel who would take advantage of him and like in an authority office and like not put him on TV in any matches for like weeks at a time. And so like he's getting the itch, right? He's doing the heroin like arm scratch thing and the whole deal, and like the whole point was that he would be able to be manipulated by the heel authority figure and basically be his rented out hitman. So he would like wean him off the violence of the ring, and then when he wanted somebody to be taken out, he would send in the Deadeye, who would go back in like at 300 times the intensity and enthusiasm and go too far chasing that fix. And we got to the first part. We got him to win the title and defend it a couple of times, and then like all of a sudden the E-Fed, like nobody wanted to do anything anymore. Nobody showed up. There wasn't even any announcement. Just like nobody showed up anymore. Yeah. Not the bookers, not the wrestlers. Like, did I miss something? What? No. I really was looking forward to this angle because it was unlike anything I'd ever done before, and then it just evaporated. It was a bummer.
See, Tony Khan, write us a check, man. We got barrels of ideas, and that sounds like a John Moxley angle.
It does actually. it sounds exactly like a John Moxley idea. Now that you mention it, you should do that, and he should have Renee be the voice of reason on his one shoulder, and I don't know. I don't know. Turn Kenny Omega heel and have him like lean on his EVP powers and be like, "Hey, no, I'm not going to book you. Like, you can come in here and fight all you want. You'll get suspended, and then you really won't be able to fight. Or you could just be patient, and I can point you in a direction, and you can do what I tell you."
Oh, it would work. It would work so good.
It would be definitely be an more interesting side of Moxley than the guy who doesn't let anything bother him and doesn't like take losses seriously and like.
Well, I think that all got put on its head this weekend, but we'll talk about that.
We'll see.
But yeah, I mean, so that's the kind of culture that message board culture that built this match, and built it into being, like this big fervor thing, even though Joe and Necro, by their own admission, didn't really hate each other. But they did brutalize the fuck out of each other.
Yeah.
And legitimately brutalize the fuck. Like they both said it. Like Necro's like, I went up and I was punching him in the face for real. And Joe was like, I let him hit me a couple of times, and I was like, well, that's the tone you want to set. Okay.
Yeah.
And what we got was legendary indie wrestling shit. So I did not get to see a preview for what it is this week. But if the list is to be believed, I think it's Big Boss Man, which is super exciting for me because I fucking love Big Boss Man.
I loved the fact that his late 90s gimmick was essentially just imagine the worst person in the world, and he's a cop.
Yeah.
That's harassing you personally.
Yeah.
That's basically his gimmick in
Yeah.
1999. It's like, what? How can I be just the worst person anybody knows while dressed in tactical SWAT gear?
I loved it. But I was also like, I'm an 80s kid, or an 80s baby and a 90s kid. So like I grew Sergeant Slaughter and like I hate Hogan now, but as a kid growing up, like Hogan was one of my heroes. And so was Sergeant Slaughter and Big Boss Man. And like all the guys that were like on the cartoon or, on the cups and on the merchandise, and Big Boss Man, despite like not really being a world championship guy, was always on the promotional material. Yeah. Always. So that was like those were like my heroes, the guys that were, on my cup at the movies or the wrestling show or the guys who I had a wrestling buddy of, which was all of them. So like, I mean, if it's Big Boss Man next week, I'm super excited, but the rest of the list, I can't remember all of them, but like none of them was I like, I don't want to see that. I know all of them. I was like, I want to freaking see that. It's crazy because I've spoken to the guys before from the show because there's a really well-known story on the Texas indie circuit amongst the veterans where we know and have known for a long time who killed Bruiser Brody. We know. In the interest of not being libelous, I will not say. But I can tell you this, that the main guy who trained people out here in West Texas for a long time was Chris Romero, a.k.a. Chris Youngblood, former WCW World Heavyweight or Tag Team Champion. Or NWA Tag Team Champion. I can't remember if it was NWA or WCW at the time, but he wrestled in WCW. But his family is huge out here. They're like the West Texas Guerreros, the Romero. And like Rapid Ricky, the first is like the old man, he's not with us anymore. But when I met him, he was like 90 already. And he wrestled with Gory and people like that, like the old, like Chavo Senior and Gory, and like that was his era of things. And so like they were like the Guerreros of West Texas, even though the Guerreros are like a Texas wide thing. The Romeros they had the same clout here that the Guerreros did. And so Chris was everybody's trainer. And Chris, he never told me this directly, but more than once I heard him discuss it with other veterans about how he was in the room, i.e. the shower, when Bruiser Brody was stabbed and who did it. And did not ever talk about it in public. Not ever. He never put that to wax. The Dark Side of the Ring guys told me that they tried to, but at the time that they did that episode, the budget was so low that they couldn't get out here and talk to Chris. And I am not sure, even if they had come out here, that he would have told them the truth. Because like I've seen the guy argue with promoters over this exact thing, where they're like, "You're a coward. How come you can't, tell people what happened?" And he's just like, "I'm not talking about it, dude. Sorry." Like, and I'm sure it's mostly like I still work in Puerto Rico and I don't want to get stabbed.
Probably.
Self-preservation thing. But yeah.
And now he's gone.
Yeah, now he's gone, but like I'm still like I'm not gonna I did not see it, so I am not going to go on record and say the name that we all know out here of the person who did that, but like that's one of the reasons why I'm so deeply connected to Dark Side of the Ring is because they like the creators of the show heard what I had to say and listened to me and were like, that's very interesting, but here's the, you know, production limit that we have and we just can't explore that any further, you know? And I was like, well, that sucks that y'all have this production limit, but you know, one day that and you know what? Let's just be real here. The guy who most people think did it is probably the guy who did it. So yeah. And I'm surprised that Tony Atlas hasn't gone on record to say who it was because he also saw it, according to Chris.
Tony Atlas is a piece of work too. Like,
yeah. You think if he had this under his hat, he would have told just to, you know, get the monetary value out of it because he's
he's definitely that much of a carny.
Yeah,
absolutely. But I mean, the name that I always heard battle around was it Invader, right?
I will not confirm or deny.
No, that's the one I heard. I can't. I think that was Invader 2 or something.
I believe that's his ring name. Yes.
Yeah.
At least that person that everybody.
That person is.
Yeah.
Yeah. That was who the consensus that I've heard, independent of your much more in touch group of guys have heard and discussed. I know that he got acquitted, right? So
mostly for lack of a proper investigation, though. Really, I also think the Colognes probably paid a lot of authorities off to keep him out of it. Really, because I mean they literally like, you could listen to the episode where his ex-wife talks about it, where like, you know, like they were sending her the body and the trial was already over type shit, you know, like stuff like that. I can't remember exact details. I just know that like it's pretty well known who did it, you know. And when I talked to the guys from Dark Side of the Ring about it for a little bit, and they understand what I'm saying. They believe me because of other things that they have heard outside of what I told them, but basically just told me like, we don't have time to come talk to the people that you are naming because of production restrictions. And I understood that, you know, because they had already done the episode.
They already done the episode. Yeah,
you could do an addendum to this, like that could probably be an hour long itself, you know. And they were like, shoot, you know, tell us the idea. What is it? And I like kind of laid it all out to them, and they were like, that's fucking awesome, but you know, like here's our problem and why we can't do that. And I understand, like they might be getting into libelous territory, especially not having an eyewitness or anything like that now, you know. So I understand why they don't want to do it. But I am super respectful of them and the way they do things, and I think they treat wrestling with a certain respect that it deserves. And not a lot of people treat wrestling with the level of respect that those two guys do. Especially wrestling history. Like I feel like by the time Dark Side of the Ring calls it a day, they're going to be known better for being wrestling historians than Dave, because they're telling real shit. Like most of the time we are getting it straight from the mouth of the people it happened to, you know, unless they're not with us. And then we're getting their wives and their kids, and, you know, like they're as close to these situations as anybody can be. And I feel like it's wonderful. So I'm super stoked for the rest of the season. That being said, I'm also super stoked about actual fucking wrestling. So let's talk about some actual fucking wrestling. Yeah. So Dynamite this week. We're leading into the pay-per-views. We got Go Home Dynamite and Go Home Collision this week. We're
at the Pinnacle, Nashville, Tennessee. Another great venue that looks suspiciously like that other venue in Boston.
So many venues that I have a feeling like they're just making it all look the same at this point to fuck with us.
Maybe they were all just designed by the same people. I don't know.
That's possible.
But starting off hot with Kevin Knight versus Darby Allin. Um, I really thought that there was a chance that Darby was picking up the win here.
I thought so too.
But I mean, they wanted to. I guess they wanted to get Kevin Knight to say Jet 2 belts a bunch more times before the pay-per-view.
Oh god, they wanted to add it. Spoiler alert: they wanted to add it to his freaking entrance and make him say it a bunch of the lead up to his match with Kenny. So,
like, it's even not even that. Like,
I hate it personally.
Yeah,
I don't like the 2 belts thing anyway, but I don't like.
I mean, at least when Becky Lynch did it, she was the first person to do it, and it made sense with her because she was simultaneous world champion of both shows.
Yeah.
And she had fun with it. But like now everybody's like, oh, I'm gonna do this same thing that you did and not add anything else to it.
No.
And actively be more boring with it.
Right, yeah. That's the problem, I think, is like we've already seen this particular gimmick at its pinnacle.
Yeah.
And other people do, especially someone unfortunately as green as the Jet, because I still don't. He's still not on par on the mic, like as far as he's definitely
He'll get there.
Becky. He'll get there eventually, but
absolutely, he's got all the foundational tools. He may not have like the eloquence, but he has the personality and he has the charisma and he has the confidence.
Yeah.
And without the eloquence, those other 3 can still get you pretty far if you have them.
Yeah, I mean, he'll get pretty far, but like I just haven't seen like a brilliance out of him on the mic yet. That I mean, it's all. I mean, but I would say something as mundane as I've seen this before, but I've also been watching wrestling for 40 years, so of course I.
Yeah, what haven't you seen?
Right? Yeah, so it's, but the match. I mean, I thought Darby was going to win, to be honest, just to. I mean, I liked your idea about this, where like he loses the TNT to Darby, he loses to Kenny, Don Callis family kind of shoves him out for not living up to their standard or whatever.
Yeah,
but
promise. Yeah,
but I still a good match. I mean Darby just. Bro, this is just a TNT title match on a random Dynamite. Like, can you calm down a little bit?
Oh, telling Darby to calm down is always a fool's errand.
I know. But I'm still like, bruh, like, I want to see you do more super bangers on pay-per-views. Don't waste all your rocket sauce on Dynamite on a match where you're not even going to win. Like, I mean, yeah, you want to make Kevin look good. I get that, and I appreciate it. But, like, you could have made him look just as good without looking like you were going to die. So, I mean, we'll just, we can leave it at that as far as my criticism.
But yeah, he was taking some gnarly bumps.
He was.
But he was still protected in the loss. It still took a title shot behind the title belt shot with behind the ref's back to set up, what was it, coast to coast and then UFO splash.
Yeah.
So, like, he didn't even beat him with his new finish. He resorted to his old stuff.
Yeah.
So, like, the stuff that he doesn't want to do anymore because he's trying to reestablish himself, but he has to resort to. Like, there's some cool symbolism there. It's like he had to beat him as a heel, but do his babyface stuff to do it.
Yeah. And then on top of that, like, we kind of did get a little hint that maybe the Don Callis family is trying to push him out, or at least different parts of it.
Kyle Fletcher, I do like how they're approaching this too, because whereas Kazuchika Okada and Konosuke Takeshita, their feud and their issue was drawn out over the course of over a year, they are opting to make Kevin Knight and Kyle Fletcher immediately clash.
Yeah.
In terms of basically being Don's favorite at the moment.
Yeah, and I loved this. I loved how, like, Fletcher immediately pooped on his parade, and then Okada pooped on Fletcher's.
Yeah.
They're getting okay. First of all, Petty Okada is the best Okada. Okay.
Clearly. Absolutely. Anybody who says otherwise is living in the past.
Yeah. The only thing that I'm missing from Okada though, really, is a 60-minute banger with Kenny Omega, and I am surprised that we don't have that yet under an AEW banner.
The closest we got was last year, and I don't know. The match was good, but it wasn't as good as their New Japan stuff.
No, but I think it could be now.
Could be
the way Kenny's performing.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, we'll get to that soon.
But yeah, so Kevin Knight is now the sole owner of the record of TNT title defenses.
At least in a single reign, yes.
Yeah, at least, and that was quick.
It was. Usually the usually TNT title reigns are like 2 months.
Yeah.
That one's passed around a lot. So the fact that he won it in February, March?
Yeah, March.
And he's still TNT champion in and of itself is like, oh wow, 4-month reign. Good on you.
Yeah. But now record for defenses in a single reign, good on you also. But
yeah,
we'll see how long this lasts with the Don Callis family, because they are everybody is just being petty to each other and pooping on each other's parade. And I'm waiting for them to be petty too and poop on like Brian Cage or Lance Archer or Jake Doyle's parade, and then get the shit kicked out of them.
Yeah.
Hey, that's not what we're here for, bro.
We're not here for your drama. We're here to beat up people and make money.
But it goes right into, Knight and Fletcher kind of, Kevin Knight brings up that he now owns the record, and Fletcher's tense about it. Fletcher's real pressed about that. You can tell, you can see the look on his face. And he's like,
there were several times during his TNT title reigns where Fletcher said that he wanted to be considered the best TNT champion of all time. And now here comes this kid who is already TNT champion for 4 months and has already gotten the record for most successful defenses. And it must just eat him alive, which is why he's now saying, oh, I'm going to be the best international champion of all time.
Yeah.
So, interesting stuff there. I imagine that... I don't know who you would turn, though.
I don't either, really, right now.
Kyle Fletcher is really, really locked into this heel persona. I do not see it. I wouldn't see it being easy trying to turn him babyface. I suppose it would be easier for Kevin, but his turn was still so recent that it's like, well, why even do it? If you're not going to do it at the show called Redemption, don't do it for a while.
I think they could turn Kyle, mostly because we want to cheer Kyle. Everybody wants to cheer Kyle. He puts on, we will talk about this at length later, but he puts on the best fucking matches.
I said it last week and I'll say it again. He is he's top 5 pound for pound in the world.
Yeah, easily.
Maybe top 3.
Yeah, maybe.
It depends. I'm still, like I was last week, I'm still in the Ospreay camp for best pound for pound performer right now.
Mm-hmm.
But man, Kyle Fletcher nipping at those heels.
It's a tight race up there.
It's real tight.
And whether he's in the top 3 or not kind of just depends on where you put Bandito.
And honestly, Ospreay must be so proud.
Oh, dude, I bet he is.
I bet he, as his countrymen would say, is absolutely chuffed.
Great match, great little promo afterwards. We definitely got some tension going on in the Don Callis family, so we'll see where that leads. After that, though, Proto kind of stays in the ring because they have a match against Brodito.
It's the portmanteau tag team match. Proto versus Brodito. I like this. I liked this because it was a tale of 2 mashup teams. And the right team won because they were the ones who were actually like each other.
Yeah.
And actually have chemistry with one another. And the other one is just 2 guys who were champions at the same time, who were in the same stable, that, I don't think it's even really implied that they even like each other so much as they have similar interests in winning titles and making money.
Yeah, pretty much.
And they're not this match made a definitive statement that a tag team is more than just two guys thrown together.
Yeah. And I feel like the right team won. And I was so happy to see Brodito catch the win here, because they've been kind of getting boned on the wins lately. And like the two of them individually, at least. And so I was like super excited to see them get the win. I know what it said to me in the moment, though. And that part didn't make me excited, but it did excite me that they got the win here. And the match itself was really great. Like,
yeah, it was. And Okada accidentally hits Fletcher with a Rainmaker, and then does his silly over the top "I'm sorry" face.
I'm so sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry. He was doing it all the way up the ramp after the end of the match too. Oh, it was so good. If you like to chew on a big old ham sandwich during your matches, this is Kazuchika Okada, grade A ham right there.
Right. After that, we've got a little vignette from the Painmaker. I hate it. But
yeah, I mean,
I just don't like this character, man. I don't. I understand where it came from and what it's for, but this is not it, man. And we're going to talk a little bit more about this later. So I'm just going to leave it there for now.
Most of the things we're setting up are going to be talked about later.
Yeah, a lot of the stuff that we can blow through these shows, because a lot of this stuff is going to get paid off, and we'll be able to talk at length about it at pay-per-view time. So after that, we've got Mick Foley out on the stage, and he's got Tekla and Willow come out to have a face-to-face with no physicality, quote unquote. Tekla calls herself Tekla Two Belts. So we're back to that again. I hated that part. So it's one of the few things that Tekla's done over the last few months, and I've been like, come on, like, what are you doing? But they weren't supposed to come to blows, but they do, with Mick Foley in between them. And I didn't know this until the pay-per-view, but like, Tekla busted Willow's ear open
with the microphone.
I didn't even see that. Like, I heard the impact from the mic, but I didn't see Willow bleeding.
And I saw Willow's ear taped up in the main event of Collision, and I was thinking, what the heck is... They didn't mention it on Collision.
No.
What the heck is that? And then on Redemption, they actually explained it. It was required several stitches, and then they made it a central focus of the match, which I thought was excellent.
Yeah, of course it is. If you're willing to bleed a little bit from a wound that's already there, you can always work that part.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's already there. You might as well.
Also, a super sensitive part of your body, so anytime anybody works the ear, that makes me cringe like crazy. And I think that was the point, but it fucking worked. But yeah, so they come to blows, mostly from Tekla disrespecting Mick Foley and Willow not having it, which I totally get, because I don't like that shit either. We'll talk more about that later. So yeah, I mean, this was, God, I hate that I have to keep saying. But it's true. Like, a lot of this stuff is going to be expounded on even further somehow in the pay-per-view, even this. So after that, we've got a
little from Tekla to her boyfriend.
Yeah, we got Jay White against Clark Connors, and I enjoyed this match. I mean, it wasn't as long as I thought it was.
Fine.
I enjoyed it.
It was fine.
It was fine.
I don't remember too much of it. It was fine.
Yeah, it was all right. The pay-per-view has kind of driven out a lot of my memory of the last week of wrestling, because there's so much there.
Yeah, recency bias. Yeah,
recency bias for sure. It's the damned if you do, damned if you don't nature of pay-per-view weeks. So
yep.
But this was a good match. I don't remember being like messed up about it, but we did have a shillelagh attack after the match, after Connors had been pinned, and kind of a clear out with the Bang Bang Gang, and Juice Robinson swinging a chain, which will come into play later.
Yep.
And yeah, they kind of escape away from them, and then we get back to, we see Christian Cage and Adam Copeland backstage, and then it looks like, oh yeah, Claudio and Pac attack them. Just kind of they beat them up a little bit, and then Pac tells them, you've bitten off more than you can chew here.
Yep.
And really, I mean, why would anyone in their right mind provoke Pac? He was more than happy to be sitting at home right now. Like, he had been gone for like a couple of weeks, and then you're like, hey, you're an asshole. And he's like, oh, am I now? Okay. And he's on his way to be an asshole.
No, it's not like he's denying it. He's coming to correct people. I'm not an asshole. I'm a bastard.
Oh, yeah, exactly. After that, we had one of my favorite things on AEW television, which was a women's hardcore match.
Yeah.
Divine Dominion versus the Sisters of Sin. And
story that they told was the right one.
Yeah, I mean, the Divine Dominion won. LOL, they win again. I don't know. I am, of course, still of the opinion that they're not going to lose the titles until Wembley against the Brawling Birds. But I was just like, I didn't understand why we were having a hardcore match on the Dynamite before the pay-per-view.
I think it was because they've already had, it wasn't recently, but they've already had a straight 2-on-2 match, and they were just, let's just spice it up a little bit.
Yeah, well, so when this was happening, I was like, why aren't they doing this on the pay-per-view? And then the pay-per-view was like 6 hours total, so I get it, I guess.
Yeah.
Without a match, a lot of these people that wrestled tonight and on Collision were not wrestling at the pay-per-view. Mainly, or not in the capacity that they wrestled here, but
right.
Divine Dominion was completely, I mean, except for a promo, was completely absent from the pay-per-view. So, I thought it was good to have them win. I don't know. I'm not sure how this brought up the stock of the Sisters of Sin, either, besides the fact that, like, they're not afraid to fight the big ladies.
Yeah. I mean, it's difficult because it's heel, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's not. It's difficult to root for somebody unless you're, like, a fan of a particular person that's in the match. Like, I saw signs specifically there for Sky Blue, you know. So I think that I mean, this match was it was done to serve a purpose, and that was to give Divine Dominion A, something to do, B, that was with somebody that, I mean, by necessity, with people they already worked with, but something different to work with them with, and C, to beat the girls who specialize in hardcore stuff at their own game to look even more dangerous, and therefore have the win against them at Wembley for the Brawling Birds be a bigger deal.
Yeah, I guess if this is all in service to making the Brawling Birds thing a bigger deal, that's good, because I'm at the point now where we've been predicting that for so long that I'm like, if it happens, I don't know how I'm going to react to it, and that's going to be my own fucking fault. So after that, we get we got Juice Robinson with the Bang Bang Gang. They're backstage. Apparently, we're having a chain match, and boy, did we! Okay.
I mean, I thought it made sense, although they're the dogs. Why wouldn't it be a dog collar match?
I thought it was gonna be a dog collar match. We will talk at length about how this match was not anything I expected. But yeah, I was just like, oh, a chain match. Like, okay, cool. I want to see a chain match, but also I don't feel like we're at Blood Feud level yet, where a match like that is necessary. And so I don't know. I think we skipped ahead a couple of chapters of this story, and those two chapters were both building tension to create
Yeah,
something like this,
I think it's
naturally.
tough because generally there's more time to build a pay per view in AEW than the 3 weeks that we got here.
Mhm.
And one of those weeks was Beach Break, which was a thing all by itself.
Yeah.
To be built up. So, I think they were just trying to squeeze everything that they could in, and wouldn't surprise me if TK just wanted to get Jay White on pay per view.
I mean,
So
possibly. Yeah.
it makes sense to me.
I mean,
And I know he's a big Jay White fan, so
yeah. I mean, the match makes sense to me to have them against each other. The match type, though, and then the way they executed it, we'll talk a little bit more about later. After that, we have is this our main event? Yeah, the main event of Kenny, Will Ospreay, and Moxley versus Brian Cage, Edgecero, and Jake Doyle.
my
First
boy
of all,
Etch is back.
yes, I'm.
Yeah.
It seems like a lot of visa issues have been resolved over the last couple of weeks, and I'm super happy about that.
Yeah. I
Mainly
think Tony
because
Khan was
Hechicero.
like, oh, he was so happy that he got all these guys back and, all of his luchadors, his favorites, that he was like, okay, you're all getting on pay per view now.
Yeah,
Like,
and they pretty
I'm
much
putting two of
did,
you in this ladder match and one of you in this main event on Dynamite here.
right?
Like, let's go, let's do it.
But I thought this was fun, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
I especially like the parts where like Osprey was like forcing Kenny to tag Moxley.
Yeah.
I thought that was, I just thought, I don't know why I thought it was so fucking hilarious, but I was just like, ha, okay. Like
he's a cheeky guy,
yeah.
He just wants he just wants his new boyfriend and his old boyfriends to get along because they're both important to him.
I guess so, man. But yeah, I mean, a lot of good, like a lot of good spots in this match. I mean, Hechicero being on the other team really benefited the three of them. With Moxley having, Jake Doyle and Brian Cage to kind of bounce off of that. I mean, I feel like it worked really well.
The only thing I would change is that the returning CMLL World Heavyweight Champion should not be taking the pin here.
Yeah.
I would have given it to Doyle. Like,
yeah. That's kind of one of the reasons why I was kind of iffed about the women's hardcore match, because those are the returning now Stardom Trios champions, and we're beating them up, so we'll see how that all kind of turns out. But this was a really fun match. I thought it was good. Great way to end Dynamite. Sent the fans home happy with, everybody having a good, a good ending, because we got, as soon as they won, there was a lot of, tension between the teams, but then we had, Don Callis' family get involved, and we had Rocky and Trent kind of get in there to get beat up so that we didn't have to
specifically to get beat up. Yes.
Yeah, specifically to get beat up. But that Kevin Knight coming flying over the top rope to hit Kenny with the belt was insane. I didn't see it coming. The camera angle was perfect. It was crazy.
They wanted to hide it to make sure you didn't see it coming. It did a fantastic job.
Oh yeah, they did a great job. And then that was kind of how it ended with Kevin Knight holding both belts over Kenny, which we all know what that means in the go home math. So, but we had already called that last week before that show even aired.
Yeah.
So, good Dynamite, and rolling right into Collision.
Second week in a row for Collision. You got Paul White on commentary.
Love it.
I liked it. I really liked. I mean, I could see a world where Tall Paul is there at the desk every week, and I don't hate it.
Yeah, I don't hate it. I especially like that it's like there was no question. Like, if you come behind the desk and Tall Paul's sitting there, you're getting the business taken up with you. Like, he's going to stand up and be like, no, we're not doing that here. And I love that because everybody seems to want to beat up Tony Schiavone lately. All the heels seem to want to take advantage of that.
Yeah.
And so Tall Paul's a good addition, because it seems like Nigel's kind of being a dick lately.
Well, I think it was in service. In most cases, it was directed at Death Riders, and then it was in service of furthering that story.
Yeah.
Which it did. Nigel wasn't there for it, but the ending angle that involved the Death Riders, which we'll go over soon, I think was serviced positively by the idea of Nigel McGuinness having been on their back this whole time and reminding the fans that Tony Schiavone was the stand-in for the fans and Nigel McGuinness was the stand-in for, in a way, Moxley himself, because Moxley will say to Kenny, or Moxley will say to Will regarding Kenny that some people don't change. He said that already. What he really means, I mean, he could be talking about Omega. He probably thinks he's talking about Omega, but it's really an admission of guilt because he hasn't changed either.
Yeah.
And he's always been this crazy person.
Yeah.
So I think not having Nigel McGuinness being like the voice of reason in your ear that you don't want to listen to because you just happen to like Mox now, which Tony Schiavone exemplifies.
Mm-hmm.
He was remember, this was a guy who tried to murder Bryan Danielson twice on live television, and Tony Schiavone's all like, well, the guy believes what he says. And like, okay, most bad guys believe what they say. So,
yeah,
I thought it was a nice. It would get paid off a little bit at the big show, pun intended, and I appreciated that. What?
You got me with that one, man.
Tommaso Ciampa opens the show versus Zachary Wentz. I'm surprised he didn't get to go through all three of the Rascals, who are now, for some reason, dynamic jobbers.
Yeah, I'm not with that. The way
they start off this year so hot, and I agree with not putting the belts on them right away. I agree with that, but man, ever since they lost that title shot, they've just been in the dumps.
Yeah,
honestly,
man,
it was bad.
Yeah, especially with how they're treating the trios division even later in this show.
Yeah.
Like, but yeah, I mean, Ciampa, of course, he gets on the mic after he beats up Zachary Wentz, and he pulls out like some black lipstick and like paints his face up like the Painmaker, and he's like, Tommaso Ciampa is better than Chris Jericho, and the Psycho Killer is better than the Painmaker.
He didn't say anything new, but I liked this.
Yeah.
It's like it's showing how you can't scare him.
Yeah.
I like that aspect of the Ciampa character, because if you're going to call yourself a Psycho Killer, you can't be scared of pretty much anything.
Yeah.
It kind of precludes you from that option.
Right.
You can be a heel, but with a name like a Psycho Killer, you're not going to be a cowardly one. That's for sure.
No, not at all. Not at all. After that, we've got
Oh, by the way, Zach Wentz is an incredible salesman, and I feel like I need to say that.
You're not wrong. You're not wrong.
Like, he sells
really good. Yeah.
So convincingly. Seeing him, as babyface in peril, or even a singles match here where he's elevating somebody else. Like, it's just a pleasure to watch him get his ass handed to him, because he just does. I don't know the secrets of what he does, but like, he does it in a really compelling way.
Yeah.
So good on you, Zachary Wentz.
His athleticism really lends to being able to look like he's getting just turned inside out, and he's really great at that. After that, we've got Speedball backstage, talking about how he's going to be part of this 6-man ladder match.
And since he's the only one speaking about it,
we know he's the match.
Win it. Yeah. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler, it's also in his hometown, so it was kind of a given at that point.
I don't think anybody expected him to lose.
No, I don't think so. There was a couple,
except Nigel until the very last minute.
Yeah, there was a couple moments where I thought he might, but over the course of the match, but they just got me, you know. After that, we got Young Bucks versus Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta, and I really need them to go further into Garcia and Yuta being a full-time tag. Just go ahead and call them the Dark Horses. Go ahead and just keep them wrestling tag, no matter what. Like, they are a really good tag team. Yeah. And this match with the Bucks was a lot of fun. I enjoyed the hell out of it. I really like watching Daniel Garcia wrestle for some reason.
It's because he's jacking jaws all the time like you would be. That's why. That dude never shuts his mouth up.
No, he doesn't at all. He talks. You talk too much. Yeah, like he's. I don't know. I think he's hilarious, but also these two guys had really good chemistry with the Bucks, and this was by far like the longest match on the show. And because it was a Bucks match, but these guys, Garcia and Yuta held it down the whole time, right with them, you know, and they made a really great match out of this. And then after, so see, where's my finish here? I can't remember how this finished. I don't think I wrote it down.
There was a whole ton of interference.
Yeah, there was a ton of interference.
Yeah, Pac and Claudio got in there. They got in something sneaky, but Mac kicked out at 2. And then Christian Cage comes in to attack one of them. And I think it was Claudio and Copeland speared Pac on the ramp. And chased them to the back. And then in the ring, I think it was an X Factor, and then the Meltzer driver on Garcia for the win.
Yeah, okay, yeah, we had the Meltzer driver for Garcia. But yeah, so after that, you know,
Nigel gave it 5 stars.
But then the Bucks roll out of the ring. They're going to Moxley on commentary to kind of confront him, and then Will Ospreay hits a hidden blade on Nick out of nowhere.
And he looks really annoyed about it.
Yeah.
He looks kind of dejected about it, actually.
Yeah. Like, why did I just beat up one of my best friends' best friends? Like, kind of stuff. Like, because he's gonna get an earful from Kenny about that. You know, like, hey, what'd you do that for? You know, and that's a valid question. What'd you do that for? Like,
yeah, kind of.
After that, we got a short clip of the Kyle Fletcher and Bandito and Brody King brawl at the Comic-Con.
Yep.
Which I love that they have wrestling brawls at Comic-Cons. I'm not mad at that at all. I think it's great.
Yeah.
After that, we've got what I believe is our Condor of the Week. So,
yeah. Angelica Risk, or Angelica Risk, I believe.
Angelica Risk.
I believe it was Angelica. Yeah. Persephone She just moited this girl. She just straight up moited her.
Oh, gosh, she killed her, dude.
Folded her right in half with a crucifix bomb for the win. Like, Persephone just, at any time that Angelica, and there were only a couple of times, dared to, like, fight back, Persephone got really, really offended and just beat the brakes off her.
Yeah, just, 2 minutes tops. Like, like,
thanks for coming, Persephone.
Yeah. After that, we've got Athena and the MIT backstage.
I'm surprised that the minions in training were still a thing.
I was too, and I didn't know Diamante was one. That's how little I knew about it. So
good for her giving Diamante something to do.
Yeah. I would like to see Billy Starks and Diamante be a permanent part of the women's tag division, because we desperately need women's tag team. And they're already a tag team called MIT. So, like, why aren't we doing that? Like, let's get it done, you know? So, yeah, I mean, that... The only part of this I didn't like is that Athena, of course, adds weird T's to some of her words. And it I don't know, it just puts me off every time. I don't know. But MIT is going to be waiting to whoop the Brawling Birds' ass, apparently. And I guess that's how we're going to start the build towards All In with them winning the title. So... after that, we got a legit trios match. for once, where we have the lethal twist. And against Skyflight, in this case, it was Dante, Scorpio Sky, and Matt Sydal, who finally returns to the ring.
Finally, with like no fanfare for it whatsoever. Nothing. I'm wondering if maybe Darius got injured again. This was a last minute replacement.
I'm wondering, and I hope not, because poor Darius, man, like that guy cannot stay uninjured. Like, I feel bad for him that keeps happening. We also got Jeff Jarrett on the commentary, and then we also got Ricochet and Demand, which kind of made commentary a little overcrowded.
It was crazy on that desk.
I get why they have Jeff Jarrett out there. His history with Lethal helps, but also, I mean, we're going to take advantage of this dark side of the ring surge with Jeff Jarrett and how there's like this whole newfound respect for the guy. So, of course, we're going to, and the crowd seemed to play that out too. They were wee-wooing along with his fucking annoying theme. So,
but the one thing I will say is that, like, why were the Demand and Jeff Jarrett all out there for the sake of Jay Lethal?
I have no idea.
One or the other. Like, they had them do this thing where they were on opposite sides of the table, like, and Jeff is playing the baby face on commentary. It's like, you're both here for the same guy. How can you not agree on things? Why are you both have one or the other if they're both going to be on the same page? Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I have no idea what was going on with that, but the match itself was really good. Matt Sydal didn't play as much of a role in it as I thought he would, but I guess maybe he's easing back into the ring so he doesn't get injured again right off the hop.
That's fine.
And that's fine with me too. Yeah, he's a little older at this point. I'm not, mad at it. Maybe he takes it a little slower,
Yeah.
So, but I thought it was a really great match. But
Skyflight loses again, though.
Yeah, Skyflight takes another L, man. But at least it was just an L to an actual trio.
Yes,
so
I'll give you that.
I can't be too mad about it. It's a trios match with actual trios. Like, let's keep this going, please. After that, we've got our first qualifier for the last two spots in that 6-way ladder match with Nick Wayne and AR Fox.
Yeah.
More TV time for AR Fox. I'm with that. And him and Nick Wayne, just on their knowledge of one another and their familiarity with one another, put on a banger here.
Hell yeah.
Nick Wayne continues to impress me. My kayfabe loving wife. You ready for this one? Between this and this ladder match, my kayfabe loving wife says she's really hard not to like that kid. And I think she's starting to understand like the reason that I like certain heels. Like, I think Wayne, maybe we're getting into that zone, but Nick Wayne
got it. He's got it, man.
He's like, really got it.
I like the idea that he and Nick and Jack Perry might have an extended program with one another.
Yeah.
Give something that for both of them to do. It elevates Nick, and it's still a story for Jack to have that doesn't involve him chasing a belt.
I think it might. I think it actually might, in the end, elevate Jack also, just for the simple fact that he's going to have to get a little innovative to keep up with Nick Wayne, because Nick Wayne's not going to stop being Nick Wayne just because he's wrestling Jack Perry. And so Jack's going to have to innovate a little bit over the course of this feud, and it's going to make for a better Jack Perry. And so, we're going to see a lot of elevation out of that, as long as that's the thing they're going for. But Nick Wayne picks up the win here. He hits that super slice bread number 2, and then the Prodigy Plex for the 3 count. And he makes his way into that ladder match. After that, little backstage vignette with Darby Allin. He's pissed off at Kevin Knight after Dynamite, because of course he is, because he took the L. But we'll see.
He has two emotions, grateful and angry.
Yeah. We'll see where that anger takes him. I have a feeling it's going to be attacking Kevin Knight some more.
Who'd have guessed?
Who would have thought? After that, we've got another actual trios match. Isn't it crazy? And this time, it's our World Trios Champions, the Conglomeration, versus the ROH World 6-Man Champions, Dalton Castle and the Outrunners, who I always love seeing on my TV. And because they're all so incredibly goofy, except for Roddy, this was an amazingly fun match to watch. And it was super goofy all the way through. Even Roddy kind of got in on the goofiness a little bit, because, I mean, when there's 5 other people in the match and they're all goofy as fuck, you kind of got to go with it, or you're
Kind of
going
have
to
to
look like
match
an
their freak
asshole.
here or there. Yeah.
Yeah, and this is one of those times where Roddy matched their freak a little bit, and everybody, it was really fun, but it was really just basically everybody got their shit in, like everybody got their stuff in. We got a "you son of a bitch" handshake onto an elbow drop. Everybody got their stuff in basically, but it was fun. It was just like you could tell there was no real animosity. It was just a fun match to have, and I'm not opposed to a fun match occasionally. Although I would like to see both of the trios matches from this week split and put against other people. Like I know Skyflight's also faces, but I would like to see these split and then reconfigured and back again with 2 more trios matches next week. Like I hope. It looks like they're paying a little bit of attention to the trios division, and that needs to happen along with a few other divisions. But trios is one of those that's been kind of neglected a little bit. So, everybody, I mean, they have a good match. Conglomeration wins, and retains their titles. And after that, the Lethal Twist and the Demand hit the ring to attack the Conglomeration, but Jeff Jarrett comes off commentary because he's still there, with the guitar, and uses the guitar to kind of, chase everybody off, and nice little pop from the crowd for him. And then he hits Ricochet with the guitar, and that's, the Nashville crowd comes unglued for the guitar shot because Nashville. Another reason why Jeff Jarrett was out there, probably because Nashville's like his home territory. So, he's going to get the best response there also. After that, we have a little backstage talk between Jack Perry and Nick Wayne. And basically, Jack Perry says he wants to become the world champion, and you take any opportunity that falls out of the sky. And this Sunday, by the luck of the draw, he's part of that 6-way ladder match. But then he's interrupted by Nick Wayne, and Wayne's like, he never thought he would be talking that Jack Perry would be talking about opportunities falling out of the sky. And that's the difference between him and Nick, and that opportunities have always fallen out of the sky and landed right in Perry's lap. He basically said everything to Jack Perry as short of "you're a Nepo baby," basically. Yeah. Yeah.
With obviously no thoughts given to the I just got this shiny charm, like let's go on some shinies.
Right. After that, we got another Redemption 6-way ladder match for the qualifier for that ladder match qualifier, and it's El Clone versus Leo Rush, which was
so interesting.
It was so interesting, right?
It was so interesting because Leo Rush, nobody moves like him, and nobody moves like El Clone.
Yeah. And
it was just, I would watch this over and over again just to see how they got into the positions that they got.
I have watched this match twice, and I still can't figure some of it out. I'm like, holy, how'd they even do that?
Crazy.
Oh, dude.
It was just, I don't even know what to say about it, except like, if you like, this was like lucha flavored British catch wrestling.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, almost. Yeah. And just in the best way, too. Like the best combination of those two things.
Yeah.
And both guys were doing both things. Like it wasn't like one, we had a luchador versus a catch wrestler.
It wasn't like a lot of Leo's more recent matches where he leaned so heavily into the character. Like he was still doing that. Yeah. But like this was an opponent where he could match wits with him. Especially since, like, what are you going to do for the character stuff with a guy like El Clone? His old gimmick is that he is a computer virus. He doesn't have a personality other than he's a malicious computer virus. Yeah. He's malware. Like, you can have him cock his head all you want, but, like, there's only so much that a full-faced person, a person in full-face body mask can do with their body language to convey the kind of stuff that a character like Leo Rush, the Blackheart, would normally bring out of an unmasked person.
Yeah.
So I don't know, like it's so fun, and I really liked it. I want to go back and watch it again.
I'm probably gonna do it a third time, dude. I'm not even playing. Like, I thought this was great. I want Tony Khan. Like, I know Clone wins this match and he got into the 6-way, but like,
yeah,
I want Tony Khan to run this back as a feud, and I want him to run it back for months. Like, just give Clone and Leo both something to do outside of a title that they can do for months on end, and they could do this for months on end.
Yeah.
It's gonna take a while. Like, I'm about to go watch a Collision match for the third time. This could go on for so long before I would get bored of it, because I'm not even bored of the first match yet, because I'm still looking at shit and going, how did they even fucking do that? Like, because like, I am a guy who has had an intimate view of shit like this right in front of my face, so I can pick apart, and I still can't figure out how they did some of this shit.
Like, Leo is so little that he can just kind of naturally wriggle out of things. And then El Clone, he moves like water.
Yeah.
Like, he's so fluid in there that it's actually mind-melting to me. Like, how did WWE not lock this guy up like 4 years ago?
No idea, dude. No idea.
Like, oh, I know, because they don't get wrestlers anymore.
But yeah, like, so Clone gets the win here. Then he goes to put the boots to Rush, but Speedball comes out to make the save, which is, it's weird that Speedball's saving Leo Rush, but okay. And then Commander comes out to kind of even the odds.
Yeah,
I guess. But
I mean, the baby faces in the ladder match are there.
Yeah, the baby faces are there. So yeah. After that, we've got a little vignette for Kevin Knight being ready for Kenny Omega, which he's not. And then we've got in character, okay, guys, not physically, like, they definitely had a great match, but like, there is a gulf between the two of them, okay, and Kenny Omega made that very blatantly clear. Then we have a little bit of another vignette of the history of the Bang Bang Gang versus the Dogs before their chain match, where they still didn't really explain what was going to be happening in this chain match. And then after that, we've got our main event, women's main event on Collision. Again, I'm loving the women's main events on Collision. And we had Tekla and
third or fourth week in a row.
Yeah, something like that. But yeah, we had Tekla and Sheeta versus Willow Nightingale and Maya World, their challengers for Redemption. And I thought this was really great.
Yeah, especially towards the end, it really picked up once the baby faces got their shine back.
Yeah, it really did pick up a lot. I thought the right team won just for the go home math, and all that. But of course, Sheeta gets the kendo stick out and starts beating on Maya World with it, and they kind of get the victory due to that, and that's kind of the end of the show. And this
would be foreshadowing.
Yes, this would be foreshadowing like crazy. But
yes, it would be. This would be pay-per-view math at its finest.
Yeah, and that's Dynamite and Collision for the week. The wrestling was really good, really good. It had me hyped for Redemption, for sure.
Yeah, but this is, I mean, we had a pay-per-view though. This is what we really want to talk about. So let's get in that ring. Do what the pros do, right?
We call it the ring. And
Let's
this week,
call it.
The ring is Redemption 2026. This is the first Redemption, right? This is the first time they've had this pay-per-view?
Correct.
So yeah,
and their first pay-per-view in Montreal, from the Bell Center, which used to be the Molson Center, which is the site of one of the most infamous happenings in all of professional wrestling.
This is the Montreal Screwjob venue, right?
Yes, it is.
See, I was wondering if this was the same place.
Yeah, it was the Molson Center in 1997. It's the Bell Center now. Yeah. They've cleaned it up a little bit. It was, in the intervening years. I mean, you would think it was 1997, for God's sake. Yeah. But this is the site of some infamous wrestling history, and I think they wanted to treat those fans to a for the most part, no nonsense wrestling show where they didn't feel like they were going to be cheated out of their money.
True.
I think this was trying to be like a make good with this audience and this market.
They were a hot crowd. Of course, they're French, so they were chanting a bunch of stuff that I have no idea what they were chanting. So there's a lot of chants in this show that I could. The only time I really knew what they were chanting is they were chanting "Fuck you, Kevin" at Kevin Knight.
Yeah,
and I knew that plain as day. But everything else they were chanting was, in French, and I don't speak French, so
I don't speak French either.
Not even.
I think at one point they may have said "allons-y," which, as any Whovian knows, is "let's go." Mm-hmm. But that's about it. That was the extent of what I could pick out.
But buy-in was okay. We had a nice little
trios did not
match.
See the buy-in, so
you'll have to tell me. We had a nice little trios match, and it was good. I really didn't pay a lot of attention to the buy-in this time. They did a big thing with the Rougeaus to honor them for their contribution to the Montreal wrestling business, which they had a big one. But other than like the Mountie, I don't know shit about the Rougeaus, so I just really wasn't tuned in for this like I normally am for the pre-show. And but none of it was like awful. It was all really good. They had Daddy Magic out there. I always like a Daddy Magic sighting.
Yeah. Were his nipples hard?
Maybe, but he had him covered up with a jacket because he was the one honoring the Rougeaus. They gave him that rub. So, and everybody was.
Oh, that's cool though.
The crowd was super happy to see him. I hope we see more of him on TV. They gave him a nice big pop. I mean, he is a hometown boy, but it's always good to see Daddy Magic. So, after that, so at the end of the pre-show, they did all the entrances for the 6-way ladder match. So we start the show with the 6-way ladder matches at the ladder match, and all of the entrances are already done.
I loved that. It's like, okay, yeah, let's get right into it.
Mm-hmm.
Let's get right into it because 6 specific entrances, and I imagine that they held their applause for Bailey's entrance.
Yeah,
because Bailey was.
He actually came out like third instead of last, which was weird.
Why did they not have him come out last?
Got me on that.
Or at the very least first.
Yeah, but he did get a huge pop. Mortos actually also got a huge pop. I loved the sparkly Mortos mask. I loved this.
Oh, the mask was immaculate. It was immaculate.
Awesome. Immaculate. God damn it.
But not emasculating. That's a different thing.
Not at all. But this was fucking great. This 6-way ladder match was something, man. It was.
Dude, I can't even call all the crazy stuff, but there was at one point where there were 3 tables set outside, and people went through tables in succession. Jack Perry, I think it was, flipped Mortos into one with a Hurricane Rana off the apron. Then El Clone one-ups that onto, I wanted to say, Bailey.
Yeah,
with a double stomp from the top through the table on the outside.
Gnarly too, man.
And then Commander goes out and takes care of Nick Wayne with the spaceman through the table. What? Incredible. At one point, Nick Wayne took a destroyer on a bridge made of ladders.
Oh.
Because why not? It's Canada. Why not throw out a bunch of destroyers?
Of course. And dude, there was so many good spots. It's hard to call it all, but it was so fucking fun.
I love
this. Was a great way to kick this pay-per-view off.
Good car crash match to kick things off.
And there was a couple of times where I thought we were going to see somebody else win. There was one time where Bailey's on the outside crashed out, and Mortos was climbing the ladder, and I'm like, is Beast Mortos about to win this thing, man?
Now, to be fair, to be very clear, the crowd was 100% behind Bailey winning.
Yeah.
But if there was a second guy, you would expect it to be Perry. But no, it was Mortos.
It was Mortos. Yeah, they were really into him, man.
Yeah, my dude, my beast.
I love Beast Mortos.
My attorney at Raw. Let's get Frank Mortos some gold, baby.
Yeah, let's do that.
Built that mofo up.
That needs to happen soon. Maybe he can feud with Speedball over the upcoming international title, because Speedball did win this match. And then later in the evening, we can go ahead and just say this now. Later in the evening, he called his spot. He's going to be facing Kyle Fletcher for the international title at Grand Slam Mexico.
Which is curious that it's that soon. I thought he would have saved it for All In.
I thought so too, unless he's going to win.
And I feel like he's going to lose.
I think if he loses, they run it back. I think they run it back at All In if he does lose.
Well, the thing is, this would be the rubber match.
Yeah.
So, like, you would think that, you know, whoever wins this wins it, and then they just leave each other alone. But I don't know.
I think maybe he wins it to keep it going. But also because Kyle Fletcher, Speedball, Mike Bailey, the last time they had a match, fucking fantastic. And in the fervor of the Arena Mexico is just going to be a moment in time, dude. Like,
yeah.
Tony Khan was very smart with this booking, I think, because it's going to be the right combination of factors that make this just a memorable thing. And if he books Speedball to win, double that, you know. So I think that might. I'm going to be pulling for Speedball for sure, but I think he might win, man. Just because I don't know. I just have this feeling.
I mean, I would love that for him. I wouldn't really love it for Kyle Fletcher to be a, you know, he wins it, he defends it once, and then drops it. Wouldn't really like that for him. But I don't know. Like, there's still a wide open month yet of booking to go before All In. So I mean, we've hammered out a couple of the matches now, and we'll go over that at the end. But, you know, I think there are 3 definite matches now announced.
Yeah.
So we'll see what fills in the blanks, I guess.
Yeah.
Down the line here.
Speaking of, you know, stuff that's coming up at All In, we got Young Bucks versus Will Ospreay and Jon Moxley. This match was everything I expected it to be, man.
This match was my favorite. This was my favorite match of the night.
It was not my favorite, but it was very close. It was very close between this.
The action was excellent. The story was even better.
Yeah.
People who think that the Young Bucks don't tell stories in the ring, you're a bunch of idiots. You're a bunch of idiots. Watch this match. Watch the incredible story that they tell in this match.
The only problem that I had with this, was that I wish they had picked a different injury for Nick to work, because we all are kind of aware that if somebody was that bad off with a head injury, they would have stopped this. Like, we kind of know that, you know.
Well,
like,
I mean, it's an interesting thing, isn't it? Because I think because head injuries are so closely watched that it actually worked in this match's favor.
No, I don't think it took away from the match at all. I just,
because
I think that, you know, like,
I think that, like, if it had been any other body part, the crowd would have been saying, it wouldn't have gotten the right reaction from the crowd. They would be like, oh, well, he's going to work that over the rest of the match. And that's it. Yeah. With a head injury, there are more effects from a head injury than there are over a limb injury.
Yeah.
That you can sell. And you can be like, oh man, maybe something's really wrong with Nick. Like, that was the feeling that they wanted you to have.
Oh, dude, I thought so at the beginning of the match. Like, right after he clocked heads with Ospreay.
They really clocked heads for real.
Yeah, they really clocked heads for real. And after they did that, when they
did that to sell it. They picked their spot. Sometimes you can do that. You can pick your spot and hit something for real for the sake of the story.
But, like, when they were keeping him out of the ring and then, like, not tagging him in, like, I thought maybe he really was hurt. I was like, oh shit, like, this is gonna fuck this match up.
Like, I felt like, you know, I mean, the masterful part here was that the entrance. This was the very first entrance that Will Ospreay actually came to the ring with the Death Riders entrance.
Yeah.
Came in from the crowd. He came in with Moxley, didn't get his own entrance. He came in, and then they immediately tested that by having him show compassion towards Nick Jackson.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing I would change about it is in have him make a more compelling argument when he was arguing with Mox over it. Be like, dude, why didn't he just argue with Mox that, well, if he's injured, then the match should be over and this should be an easy dub. Like, why are we belaboring this point? Why are we wasting our energy on this? Instead, like, because what you're arguing, John, is to just beat him for the hell of it.
Yeah.
Like, that would be the only thing that I would change is Ospreay being firm that it's not just about compassion, but it's also in service of the Death Riders ethos is to win the match at any cost.
Yeah.
Well, if you can win the match easily by telling the ref that this guy can't wrestle anymore and getting, convincing him to call it off in their favor, then why wouldn't you do that?
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, to me, that verbal piece was missing, but everything else was brilliantly laid out. I thought Nick's selling was great. Matt shows why he's the better of the two young bucks in the ring. Mm-hmm. But with his storytelling, by facing off both of those guys, Ospreay, there was one point where Nick does get in and Ospreay refuses to hit him in the head. And then Mox just snaps and he just starts destroying Nick to the point where I thought, okay, yeah, Death Rider's definitely winning this. He hit him with like 3,000 Death Rider or paradigm shifts. It's over.
Yeah, it's
and
over.
Then suddenly, Matt is there somehow, or Matt Jackson's there just somehow, and then things just devolve when he can't pull the trigger after what Mox told him. He can't pull the trigger, so Mox decides to do it himself. Walks right into the preternatural senses that power the Young Bucks tag team offense. He eats a BTE trigger, flips them both off, and immediately regrets it and gets super kicked in the face about 27,648.3 times.
It was hilarious.
And goes down.
Marina caught a nasty super kick during this match.
Yeah. And Matt's like, whatever.
Yeah, whatever. And that's what I said. I was like,
And you know what? By that point, she had earned it. She had interfered this whole time. The whole time. Yeah. So, like, it was well earned. Yeah. I thought this match was some of the Young Bucks' finest work, honestly. I really
thought it was good.
I would. This is a pedestal match right here.
Yeah, it was very good. It wasn't my favorite of the night, but it was super fucking good. However, we are about to talk about my favorite match of the night because next we had Bandito versus Kyle Fletcher, and fucking give them another hour.
Contender. Yeah,
they could have gone another hour. I wouldn't have been upset at all. This was
They went about 26 minutes, and it still wasn't enough.
No, it was not enough, dude. I need more.
They were getting the fight forever chance.
They were
towards the end there.
Bandito, Fletcher, they're kicking out of each other's fucking moves. That 21 plex where he had him in the full Nelson and bounced off the ropes and then came back in full Nelson.
He nearly lost it, but he recovered so well.
So good, dude. So good.
To me though, it's like, dude, should be the finish.
That should have been.
That should be the finish. It's a drag. It's a 21 dragon plex,
dude. Yeah.
Like, how do you up the danger on a German suplex? You put the guy in a full Nelson so that it cradles his head in a crunching position as he comes down.
Yeah.
And puts all of his body weight right there. And instead of across his shoulders, right there on his neck and head.
Yeah.
That should have been the finish.
Oh, it should have been the finish 100%. And I wanted Bandito to win this match, but I knew the reason Fletcher had to. And
you know what? It did still take the turnbuckle brainbuster to do it.
Yeah. After a brainbuster on the freaking apron. He did a apron brainbuster too, and that
you know what was worse than that though? You know what made me physically curl up into a little ball in vicarious pain was when Fletcher was on the outside, laying down on the mats there on the floor of the arena, And Bandito, for some godforsaken reason, goes all the way up to the top turnbuckle and hits a frog splash on him on the outside floor. Not through a table, not inside the ring, not on the apron, on the floor of the arena. His entire body weight across poor Kyle Fletcher's chest. I thought he had broken every single one of his ribs.
Oh man!
I thought gnarly. I was like, I saw the air rush out of that man's lungs, and I was afraid that none were going to go back in.
Right? Like you just
this match was ludicrous. I prefer the story of the first one, but yeah, this was my second favorite, and it is very, very, very close.
Yeah,
so
it was real close for me too, but this was by just
Kyle
by a
Fletcher
short margin.
And Bandito continue to compete with each other for like the 1A status in this company. It's like Ospreay, and then it's like these two are both battling for 1A.
Yeah. As far as pound for pound goes, for sure. And
crazy.
God, it was fucking nuts. But yeah, Fletcher catches the win after an avalanche Michinoku driver and a turnbuckle brainbuster. Like, God, dude. Like,
how are these men still walking around?
No idea. No idea.
Can you imagine if this was if this exact same match were in the CMLL ring?
Oh my
with
God. With
no give whatsoever.
It would have been terrible. They wouldn't be walking at all.
No.
Oh.
Both being wheelchairs.
Yeah. Now, at this point, the pay-per-view does take a very sharp downward curve.
To be fair, the first three matches on this main card
were so good.
Were so good and kept your adrenaline up for the better part of an hour, or actually more than an hour, probably close to an hour and a half.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to jump that adrenaline eventually. Like this is the point where in a WWE pay-per-view, if they were to have three bangers in a row, which good luck anymore, they would do like a segment.
Yeah.
Like a talking segment to kind of just bring the level back down and let people breathe and let people take it in. Like, you can rag on the Fed all you want. Lord knows I have. But they don't have... Not every single bad idea that they have or habit that they have is necessarily a bad one.
Mm-hmm.
Just because it came from them. Yeah. So, having a little breathing room in between this would have been nice.
Would have been, yeah. But what happened next was the Dogs versus the Bang Bang Gang's chain match. And we will say that, for me, it didn't live up to any of my expectations. One, because I thought it was going to be a damn dog collar match. It
should have been.
I expected Briscoes versus FTR, and what I got was, what can possibly go wrong in a chain match? It's about to happen here right in front of your face.
I thought they had some clever spots.
There were some clever spots, but
there were some really clever spots, actually.
There was the problem with the chains getting linked up together and getting tangled up. Jay White almost lost his fucking life to that chain at one point.
In a vacuum, this match is okay. It's not great, but it's not really bad. Disappointing, I think, is fair, but I don't think it's bad on its face. My disappointment was like, this is a chain match and there's no blood.
None at all. What the hell?
In fact, they hyped it up in commentary during the entrances, like, oh, this could be really, really bloody, and then not a single
drop. A drop, dude. Yeah, like I don't understand what happened with that, but
I mean, don't get me wrong, I wouldn't want to be in their shoes getting beat by those chains. Okay, there were some whips. You can't fake whipping a chain at somebody.
No, not at all. No, it's gonna hurt.
Like, you just can't. Those welts don't just appear with makeup because you rolled under the ring and applied it. Like those are real welts. But like I said, some of the spots, like the when they were Connors was holding back. Who was it? I can't remember which one it was. I think it was
holding back Jay White while Juice was getting choked.
Right. Yeah. Juice was getting choked. He was holding back Jay White. And the tug of war as Jay White powered himself was super over with the crowd. Crowd loved that spot. But other than that, like, yeah, like, I expected it to be bloodier. I wanted it to be around their necks as a dog collar match because they are the dogs.
Yeah.
Like, and I honestly, I can't believe that I'm saying this. You're not going to believe me when I say this. But, like, I feel like the Death Riders interfering to help the dogs cheat to win this match was the wrong one. Not because of what it was, but because of who it was.
Yeah.
Were you expecting Gabe Kidd back?
A little bit, yeah.
Because I was expecting Gabe Kidd back. All the Mexicans got their visas worked out. I didn't see why Gabe Kidd should have had any issue with his. And I'm thinking, okay, well, this clearly is still going, and they need the numbers. So Gabe Kidd is an actual member of the Dogs. Why would he not be factoring into this? Like I've said before, I don't like Gabe Kidd. But from a storyline standpoint, I'm very confused as to why he wasn't involved in this.
Yeah.
This was in Canada. His visa issues are with America, right?
Right,
So, like,
yeah.
or with the United States. So, why did we go this route instead of just? Well, maybe he does still have issues with the United States, and putting him in this position where he comes back in Canada when he can't even follow it up the next Wednesday night on Dynamite would be a poor choice, I suspect.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason that the Death Riders have been put in this situation.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, they get Marina hands the shillelagh to Finley. He hits, I believe, Juice with it. And
I don't even know why they even bother with all the rigmarole of a distraction of the referee. There's no DQs in a chain match.
DQ. Yeah, that's the
only
Marina
could have handed it. Marina could have looked the referee right in the eye as she handed David Finley the shillelagh, and the ref would have been able to do nothing about it.
Nothing. Yeah. So, I don't know why the rigmarole. I don't get it, man. I don't get it.
I mean, this match it didn't hit with me. Like like I said, in a vacuum, it was fine. It would have been like an okay Collision main event, you know. But it was fine. That's about all I can. Maybe if I watch the show again, I'll have a deeper appreciation for it. With a new, less tired set of eyes because I was watching it on 2-hour delay. And it's just, by this point, it was probably close to 11 o'clock at night. And I'm just, I'm old. I can't do this anymore. But yeah. Luckily, though, the next match was Maya World and Hikaru Shida, which was much better.
Brought me right back up. Right back up, man.
I gotta say, like, I thought Shida, in ring, she just kind of lost it a little bit.
I didn't want to say it, but yeah.
I hate saying that. The good news is that with this new heel character, that's made up for it.
Yeah.
You know, that's made up for a lot, actually. I loved the finish of this match, actually, because it was Hikaru Shida's own hubris, where she could have pinned her at like any point. She kept hitting her with those running knees like 4 or 5 times, and she could have pinned her off of maybe not the first one, but any of them after that. But instead, she got in her own head. She hit a Falcon Arrow after all that, too close to the ropes. Maya was able to get there, and while Shida was arguing with the ref, she got picked off by that fallaway slam with the bridge that she does.
Yeah.
And she won. And she's the new TBS champ. And, you know, there was a part of me that figured that was probably going to happen to capitalize on the momentum that she had.
Mm-hmm.
But the other part was like, Hikaru Shida just came into this character and just won this belt. They're not going to have her drop it yet. And I was, honestly, my gas was well and truly flabbered because I honestly didn't think that they were going to pull the trigger on Maya World until a rematch at All In. And
I'm so
you know
glad
what?
they did.
I was glad to be wrong. I liked the surprise of it. Good for Maya. Like, I mean, obviously, you know, she's been working her butt off. She's really connected with the crowd. I mean, it sucks that it had to happen via tragic circumstances, but she's really made that connection. People really like her and want to see her succeed. Yeah, why not? Go ahead.
I was super happy just because, you know, watching her journey from the indies to here. Just
it's always nice to see one of your guys make it, you know.
It is. It's always nice to see one of my guys make it, and I'm so stoked on this. Like the match.
That's why I'm so happy every time AR Fox is on TV. It's like that guy. Right? That's my guy.
But yeah, this was a great match. And yeah, Maya World is our new TBS champion, and I cannot wait to see if like she's gonna continue feuding with Shida, because I kind of want that to happen.
I want that. I think that putting a stipulation on a rematch at All In is the way to go.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what? I could see them trading the title back and forth, and I wouldn't even mind that, honestly.
I wouldn't be mad at it at all. Because I do kind of like the best is Shida also. So
yeah, me too. Like,
well, yeah,
I mean, like I said, you know, she's not in the prime of her career anymore from a physical standpoint, but she still has a ton of value to add to this division. And she was just really coming into this character, and I am still slightly disappointed that it ended so soon for her. So I'm kind of hoping for a long extended run between the two of them feuding over the belt.
Yeah. After that, we got the Demand backstage. They challenged the conglomeration on Dynamite to a trios championship match. Cool. I don't think they're going to win, but cool.
I think it's the time to drop it.
I mean, probably.
Honestly,
they all just got their backpacks. Never mind. We'll talk about that.
I think it'll be the time for them to drop it, because they've had a nice little run, but they just beat the Lethal Twist on the pre-show, right? Mm-hmm. Who are now kind of associated with the Demand. I could see them interfering on the Demand's behalf.
Yeah.
To make the title switch happen. And for God's sake, give something to Bishop Khan and Toa Leona.
Yeah.
It's time.
Really
it's
hard.
Past time. They've worked so hard. Yeah. Like, Toa Leona is an awesome force to watch in the ring that does crazy big man stuff that's nuts, and brought back my favorite, if slightly problematic, wrestling trope, the Samoan headbutt imperviousness.
No, hold on. I will say this. It's not problematic. And you know why I know it's not problematic? Because on Dark Side of the Ring this week, Eddie Kingston said straight up, because they were talking about the first time that Necro Butcher hit Samoa Joe in the head in the match. And Eddie's like, it pissed him off. Of course it did. You get taught this. You don't hit a Samoan in the head. And the reaction that I've seen just to that line across Blue Sky, this is not a problematic thing. It's not problematic at all. I don't think anybody's getting canceled for this.
But he brought it back, which is the thing. I enjoy it, and he brought it back.
Yeah.
And then, like, Bishop Khan, look at this man. How is this man not a champion? He's a good worker. Don't get me wrong, but based on his look alone.
Yeah.
Jeez Louise. He looks like the prototype of a pro wrestler.
I would not be upset to see either of those guys be a world champion at some point.
Yeah.
Even if it was at the expense of Ricochet.
Why not?
Actually, I would like it even better if it was at the expense of Ricochet. Okay.
Yeah. Like, I could give or take Ricochet getting another belt. whatever. Whatever.
But belt up GOA immediately.
But yeah, like if that's what it takes to get GOA some goals, yeah, I am all for that because those two have earned it.
Yeah,
for sure.
I'm not even really with them being trios champs. They should be the tag team champions, or at least fighting for it. I would love GOA versus Young Bucks. Like, come on, guys.
Yeah,
like,
you talk about Clash of Styles.
Yeah, that would be so good. It would be so good.
Yeah, it really would.
It would be, dude. If they had ran this head injury angle against Toa Leona, dude, like,
see that would be even more believable.
Dude, yeah, like he crossed heads with Toa Leona, and now he's gonna die. Like, yeah, you know.
The only problem is that Toa Leona would absolutely have pulled the trigger. Yeah, he would have followed up. He would have taken John Moxley's advice, and then that deprives us of the story.
Yeah, a little bit.
Then the story becomes I got hit in the head with a Samoan and I died.
Yeah,
and there it is.
Well, I mean, but so after that, we've got our World Tag Team Championship match. Speaking of tag team titles,
I dug this too.
I thought this was fun, man. Claudio and Pac
versus I thought it was a real good change of pace in terms of how it presented the match. You know, this was not a competitive match. This was your classic, you know, the heels are dominant over the baby faces and they have to fight up from underneath. You got both Cage and Cope got a chance to be the baby face in peril and the hot tag. They got attacked before the match even happens. Before Cage even makes his entrance.
Yeah. They're already beating up Cope.
They're already beating them up. And like Cage and Cope are on the back foot the entire match. Like 95% of this match was Pac and Claudio. It looked like their match to win. And then just a little bit of miscommunication. And the elevated spear wins it for the old guys. And it was still believable.
Oh yeah, it was great.
Because Cage and Cope are magic.
Dude, this run is so much better than their WWE runs. I don't even feel bad saying that at all. Like, I love Christian Cage and Adam Copeland. I love
people remember their rivalries and their comedy sketches. They don't remember their matches. They don't remember their individual feuds so much because most of those title runs were short. Yeah. They pop potato those belts between them, the Hardys, and the Dudleys.
Yeah.
And like they didn't have long title reigns. It was the Attitude Era. The point was to bounce the belts around to make the show feel unpredictable and to make it so that these seemed like prizes that were simultaneously really sought after, but also were being fought over by a bunch of hungry sharks who could literally, it could be anybody at any minute.
Yeah.
Like it was to put over the division. So this is a much different thing. This is, I don't know this for a fact, but it would not surprise me if they've already been AEW tag team champions longer than any one of their WWF title reigns.
I wouldn't be surprised, and I'm kind of want to find out.
But
yeah, great match. Pop-up spear for the win. And then right after the match, we get it announced that we are going to see Young Bucks versus Cope and Cage at All In. Now, I'm super excited about this, but I'm still wondering if we're going to have more teams added to that.
I'm split because I want both things.
Yeah.
I want both the singles match and I want the car wreck TLC tribute.
Yeah.
I want both things.
Yeah.
So
maybe we get them at All In and All Out, like one and then the other. Because I mean, at All In is when we're going to see all the other tag teams. So maybe they're setting that up for All Out. You know.
You know what? I would take that.
I would too.
Absolutely, I would take that.
Yeah, I would definitely be okay with that. And yeah. So after that, now we've got another match that I was iffy about, but actually had a lot of fun watching. We got the Painmaker versus the Psycho Killer.
And you know what? I knew it because the gimmick is lame. But like Jericho's at the point in his career where like you can see the desperation on his face to remain relevant. So he's gonna play ball and do some things that he might not normally have been willing to do in order to stay relevant. And a guy like Tommaso Ciampa, who has been carrying this angle, this storyline on his back the entire time, on the force of his personality and his interviews alone, really.
Yeah.
They should not have billed this as a no-holds-barred match. They should have billed this as a death match.
Yeah, because it basically was.
Because it basically was. Like, there were other earlier matches on this card with the no DQ stip kind of implied by the other rules of the match. This one really took advantage of it.
Dude, they did
pocket sand. They had actual pocket sand.
Yeah, it actually came out of his pocket. I love that.
Came out of his pocket.
As soon as he did it, I was like, dude,
I thought of you as soon as it happened. I thought of you as soon as it happened. It's like, oh, there's the Dale Gribble.
Yeah, they totally gribbled him. A couple of things happened in this match that I'd never seen before. I have never seen hockey pucks used in the way they were used. I've never seen them covered in thumbtacks. I know how hard a hockey puck is. If you've ever been to a hockey game and you've heard a hockey puck shot off a stick hit the boards, you know how substantial those little round rubber discs
are. Very, very dense.
Very dense. And when he slammed him on those with the thumbtacks, I was like, holy shit, bro. Oh my God. Like that had to hurt
that's not a joke.
So bad. No, hell no. The elbow pad or the knee pad with the, I was really hoping for the knee strike with the spikes, but we got the Judas effect instead. And it was, but
it was acceptable.
It was acceptable. But I mean, the hockey, but I've never seen somebody more effectively work a stuffed animal.
Yeah. I love Ciampa so much.
That shit was
It's not the first time I've seen him do something like that, but it's funny every single time.
Oh, dude. And pulling out the Bruins jersey and then beating up the Montreal mascot was like the best part of this match almost. Like
No. The best part was when he made Aubrey count the pin on the
he count the pin on
that was the best part.
Dude, he got so much heat out of that crowd for that. My wife was like, what's going on? I was like, that's the Canadiens mascot. And she's like, well, like Montreal Canadiens. That's their hockey team that plays in this building that they're having this match in right now. Yeah. And like they're upset because he is fucking up their mascot. And then like Jericho like just like saves the day for a stuffed animal, basically. And I don't know, man. This was so fun watching.
Yeah. I'm not gonna lie. Fun. Like the Painmaker gimmick is lame.
I don't like it, no.
But you can't fault his creativity in the stuff that he pulled out of this match. You can't fault the hard work that both put into it. Both bled buckets.
Oh God, so much. Dude, Ciampa was dripping at one point, like all over the mat, like and the camera was like right on him, and he's just dripping. And I'm like, oh my God, dude, like he is fucked up.
Like you could see it coagulating in real time. Like it was gross.
It was bad, dude. I was like, ugh. Like, but still at the same time, I was just so in it. I was just in it, man.
Yeah, but like this is it was good. In theory, I like the finish.
I wish Ciampa had won this match.
Yeah, I wish Ciampa had won this match. But as far as creativity concerns, I like the finish.
Yeah.
But it wasn't executed super well. I'm wondering if maybe it went over a little bit with the live crowd a little bit more because they didn't get the up close vision of it.
See what that drill bit was actually made of.
First of all, it wasn't a real drill bit.
That was a hex bit.
Yeah.
So no sharp edges.
Secondly, it didn't hit his skin like at all.
No.
If you got looking at that, and props to Jericho for being safe. I will never take anything away from anybody treating a potentially dangerous spot with a deft touch. Okay. But like it didn't, in his efforts to protect Ciampa, it didn't really look good when the camera was closing in on it up close.
Yeah. No,
so really... like from far away, that must have looked horrific though.
Yeah. I will say I kind of cringed and looked away during this part because thanks to CZW, when Power Tools come out, I kind of check out.
Yeah.
Thanks CZW for traumatizing me for life with the skill saws. But also because they had the blade, the bit going. When I actually saw like the drill, he was making it go, so you couldn't tell it wasn't actually a drill bit at first,
right?
Until they saw it. Like I didn't know that it wasn't an actual drill bit afterwards. But
right.
when when he brought when he brought that in the moment, I was like, oh nope, this is where I check out, man. Like I'm sorry, I'm not. And like even my 18-year-old kid and my wife were all just like, oh no.
Yeah, like I didn't check out because I was holding on to the hope that they wouldn't use it. They would find a way around it.
Yeah, but
they sort of did. They pantomimed using it, so they technically got around having to use it for real. But because they didn't use it for real, you kind of got to see behind the curtain a little too much.
Yeah, a little.
Kind of took me out of it. That said, it's a clever finish.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and like I said, I don't think a single person sitting down in the Bell Center knew otherwise.
Yeah, no, they didn't.
So
they for sure, they thought he got drilled in the forehead.
They bid on it.
Yeah, and that's what that's what that was for, though. Was for them.
Oh yeah. Honestly, that was. I mean, other than Jericho winning, that was about as much as I could hope for in that match. I thought it was fun.
Yeah,
that was super fun.
It was fun, like a party match is fun. Just the party was all sharp things,
glass and tacks and hockey pucks.
Oh, hockey pucks.
2 mirrors. They went through 2 mirrors.
2, yeah. After that, we've got a backstage segment, and I learned 2 things from this backstage segment, and this is all I got from it, was 1, Mick Foley has officially planted the seeds for Divine Dominion versus
Yeah.
But we did, because Andrade versus Mark Davis was a fucking great match. It was a banger.
Andrade with new entrance.
New entrance. Theme. Oh, yeah. Dude. I love it.
Much more babyface friendly.
Mm-hmm.
You know, he's slapping hands now, making fist bumps and
smiling, taking selfies with dudes.
Yeah. He came out with like 4 ladies.
Yeah.
Just
somebody named them all.
And that one was all over him.
Yeah.
There was one that was literally
I think
throwing herself at him.
Yeah, she looked like she was trying to move up in the wrestling world, we'll say.
She was trying to punch her ticket for later.
Yeah. And but yeah, I mean, like, the entrance was great. I like that he's smiling. I like he's taking selfies and little videos with, like, it's like he stopped at the side of the ring and like said his catchphrase for people who were filming video. You know, like, he was really playing up the face. I love it. I love Andrade the face.
Yeah.
I'm super into. I've always been kind of into him as a wrestler. So him being a face, super into that, man. I love it.
He had to earn it.
Yeah,
he had to earn the babyface cred, but he's done the work.
He's done the work.
He's gotten over.
Mm-hmm.
It's so weird to me to think that, like, prior to this, his best run was probably in NXT. Like, they're separated by nearly a decade, and it's just like, this is. He's finally, like, he's got everything. I thought he needed Zelina to complete the package, because that's what did it for him in NXT. They were a dynamite pair. She gave him everything that he was lacking, and now he found it. He found the code. He cracked the code.
Yeah. Yeah, he's in a
So
career renaissance right now, and I'm here for it, man.
me
I'm
too.
glad
So
I'm here
happy for
it.
him. Mark Davis beat the crap out of him in
Oh
this
God,
match too.
God, Mark Davis put him through the paces for sure. He made him earn that
Yeah,
title.
yeah.
Like, oh my God, there. A couple times I thought it was over too because he hit him with that pile driver twice, I think.
Yeah.
That
I
gnarly
think
pile
so.
driver, yeah. And Mark Davis, Mark Davis is to pile drivers what Roddy Strong is to backbreakers. Like Mark Davis is
Yeah,
a pile.
yeah.
He is, but to be fair to Mark, he is genetically built to give a pile driver.
Yes,
Because
he is.
nobody's head is bigger than them thighs, bro. I will tell
Nope.
you what, man. And
he can pile drive Paul White, and Paul would be completely safe.
Dude, completely. Get this, all right? Funny story about this match, all right?
Okay.
So, and it has to do with Mark Davis's ass, unfortunately.
They call him Dungzil for a reason.
It's about that, exactly. Okay, so my kayfabe loving wife, we're watching the match, and we get to this point where he had just given Andrade one of the pile drivers, and he's picking him up off the ground, and the camera's behind him, so it's like full on view of Mark Davis's ass, right?
Right. It says Dunkzilla on there.
Yeah, you can see plain as day where it says Dunkzilla on his shorts, and my wife's like, Dunkzilla. Okay, now it makes sense, and I'm like, what? And she goes, this whole time I had no idea why they were calling Mark Davis Dougzilla. And I was like, no, it's Dunkzilla, but Dunk-a-Dunk. Literally, it's Badunk-a-Dunk. He's ass-zilla.
He's got a big dumper. Yeah.
He's got a big dumper. That's the whole point. And she was like, it makes sense now. Because she thought they were calling him Dougzilla this whole time and had no idea why the fuck they were calling him Doug. She was like, what the fuck? She's like, I thought it was an indie thing. I just didn't fucking understand, that you would know about and I wouldn't. And I felt stupid for asking. And I was like, no, not at all. I would have cleared this up easily, but oh, God bless you. But it was hilarious.
God bless you, Katie. Love you.
I was like,
love you, Katie.
Shit was so fucking funny. Oh my God, it was so fucking hilarious. I was
That's
like, okay.
great.
But now she knows. But she also this is another one of those times though where I watched her become a fan of somebody and maybe two people. Because I think she's already kind of. I mean, I don't think there's a woman alive who doesn't like Andrade. Even my wife and I'm not upset about that. Look at the guy. If I like dudes, I'd probably like him too.
I mean, what was it? What show was it? I think New Girl. Yeah. It was what was how do you tell what's his face? Nick Miller. He's all like, I don't know what a guy is good looking or not. I was like, well, would you like to look like that guy? Yeah, I'd like to look like him. Well, then he's good looking. I want to look like Andrade. I'm never going to look like that.
Yeah.
But he's a handsome man.
Somebody was like, Andrade's already handsome. Those braids were irresponsible. But he is sorry. Okay. For those of you out there who may be listening to the show who are super straight or whatever, look, I've known this my whole life. Other dudes I've talked to know this too. We know when another dude is handsome. Okay. Yeah. We know. Yeah. Andrade is the kind of dude who will steal your bitch. Okay.
Yeah.
And and so but
you don't want to be friends with him.
Yeah. I think my wife already liked Andrade, on the aesthetic, but then this match with Mark Davis, she was into it, man. And I think she became a Mark Davis fan too. And so I was like, I love watching that. Even when I was covering WWE and I watched her become a fan of Tiffany Stratton, I love watching her dawn on somebody, especially when it's somebody who I already thought was good, where I'm like, oh, you do have good taste. God bless you, and so but this match was a bit there is a general consensus online that this wasn't a great pay-per-view, but other than the chain match, somebody explained to me how this wasn't a great pay-per-view because almost all of these matches were fucking good, man.
Yeah, I mean, in certain spots it was largely predictable, and it didn't have all of the top stars that you would expect. I mean, still no Swerve, Heyman's still injured, Mox was on the card, but in a tag match, they were in weird permutations, that kind of thing. But I don't know, man. What do you want? Like this, the bar is. They've unfortunately, and this is a good problem to have.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, but the problem with AEW is that they're so reliably excellent when it comes to their pay-per-views that when one isn't quite as good as whatever the last one is in your memory, it seems the gulf between the quality in those two shows seems bigger than it is.
Yeah. Their bar is just so high. It's hard to hit it all. You can't always hit it. Not everyone's going to have a winner, but I mean, but I'm still, even with them not exactly hitting the bar, maybe of the last pay-per-view,
I still had a ton of fun with this show. And we're not even done talking about it.
Oh, no, we got 2 more matches, and I'm excited to talk about them. The next thing that happened was Speedball going ahead and challenging Kyle Fletcher for Grand Slam Mexico. We've already talked about that, so we're just going to skip on to my second favorite match, my second favorite match of the night, I think, or maybe my third. I don't know. It's hard to rank these, especially when we get to this one, because we've got our AEW Women's World Championship match. We've got Willow versus Tekla. And I have been waiting for this to happen for so fucking long.
No two characters in the women's division are so diametrically opposed than Tekla and Willow Nightingale. So just on the face of it, you've got the makings for a really, really interesting match. You know, they stand for complete opposite things.
Yeah.
From a character standpoint. And then you've got their styles, and you know, you've got their look, and like you've got the evil one is this little tiny thing that'll just strike you at weird angles and just be vicious with your face and just, you know, kick you in the head over and over again to stomp you into the ground. When you've got Willow Nightingale, who's all smile anyway, and she is stronger than nearly anybody in the division, and she will throw you around with impunity. Mm-hmm. Like, you could not pick 2 more opposite, perfect compliments to one another.
Yeah. And it was
for this match
fucking great. At one point, Tekla had in a Muda lock and was making Willow smile
with fish hooks. Yeah,
with fish hooks. Yeah, and like smile anyway. I thought that was brilliant.
I mean, I think that this is going to go down. Tekla's reign is going to go down as not like an all-time reign as champion. That's going to be like, she's the one who held the fort, you know, until the big names that you were probably wanting to see hold the belt more were healthy and in a position storyline wise to do so.
Yeah.
But she held that fort so well. Like, this is such a I can't imagine the state of the women's division if Tekla hadn't taken the title off of Stat and held it until last night.
Yeah.
Like, it would have been almost as big a shambles as the women's tag team division.
Yeah.
They needed that ship needed a rudder, and Tekla was that rudder.
Yeah.
So I think that you look back on this, and I think wrestling historians, AEW historians, would be like, this was what was necessary in the time, and she was the right person at the right time in the right place.
Yeah.
God bless Tekla.
Mm-hmm. But
with his own hand.
Why did that run through my head right before you said that, guy? You can't say God bless anything without me hearing that song.
I mean, Tekla and Texas are so close. I couldn't not sing
similar
the next
in attitude
line.
Also. Very similar in attitude also. Because there's lots of dumb bitches out there. But I mean, Willow gets the win here with a backslide. And
backslide.
I know you hate it, but I love when Willow gets that backslide in.
I hate the backslide so much.
But
why are we in 1975?
No. But Willow wins. I'm super happy about this. I'm so glad. We've both been waiting for Willow to be world champion for a long time, and
first women's Triple Crown champion.
Yeah, history
got there before again. Stat.
That's probably going to be a point of contention.
I mean, eventually. Speaking of which, have we seen Stat Daddy like at all in the last like 2 months.
I thought.
I think the last time we saw her was in the TBS title match, the Survival of the Fittest, right?
Maybe.
That seems like ages ago.
I mean, to be fair, she was working real hard for a long time there because of lack of other women to work. And I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if she's taking a vacation, and she deserves it. So
I hope so, and good for her if that's the case.
I imagine we'll see her back by All In and at All In probably. Maybe
that brings up a good question though. We know now that it's Willow Nightingale defending the Women's World Championship against Mercedes Moné.
Mm-hmm.
We know Maya World will probably defend her TBS championship against somebody.
Mm-hmm.
Where does that leave Tekla?
That's a good question.
She can't put in all that incredible work to make the division meaningful in the last 5 months, only to not have her on the All-In card. I mean, that's just an injustice.
If I were a betting man and also a genius level booker, I would have Tekla continue her Stardom feud, and we would see a return of Starlight Kid at All In to face Tekla again.
I would love that. I would love to run that back. You got to pass it through them first, but
yeah.
But
I mean, she's still doing the Stardom feud because they're the Stardom Trios champions. So
true.
We'll see how that all pans out. I guess I am also curious what happens to Tekla.
Yeah.
But Willow, the conglomeration comes out to party with Willow, and she gets her own backpack.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm like, I don't want them to lose the trio styles because they finally all have backpacks and they all have full backpacks. Like,
yeah.
Like, can we run with that for just a sec before we?
Well, they don't all. Jay Briscoe has nothing. He's on the injured list, I guess. But
yeah, he's injured. So
Tomohiro Ishii is on the injured list.
Big Tom could put something in a backpack. I'm pretty sure he's still the Strong champion.
Is he? But he's injured. He probably dropped it, right?
Maybe. I don't know. Strong hasn't really been running shows, so he may still be the champ, even if he is injured.
Let me look it up real quick.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I don't keep up with the JPW Strong, so I'm not real sure.
Let's see. Ishii did drop it. To Bolton Oleg.
I have no idea who that is.
I don't know either.
That's weird.
But he dropped it 145 days ago.
Oh, damn. Okay, so
in February.
See how little I keep up with New Japan Strong. Even though that seems to be like the part of New Japan I would like the best, besides the G1 and the Super Juniors.
Yeah.
So we got the Willow win, and then we get to our main event, which I am going to be straight up right now. The Willow Tekla match should have been the main event of this card.
I mean, the reason why it wasn't was because of the angle after this.
Yeah, I get that, but still, they could have affected this angle before the end of the show and sent people home happy with Willow being the champ. Instead, they.
Well, you also have to take into account that this was a Canadian audience, and Willow and Tekla, neither one of them is Canadian, whereas Kenny Omega is. So that probably had a lot to do with it as well.
So,
and I'm not going to take that away from them.
I really enjoyed Kenny Omega versus Kevin Knight.
The match, I thought the most interesting part of the match was basically the gradual return during the action of the Kenny Omega of old. Brash, confident, engaging in spirit tests, telling his, trash talking his opponent, basically proving Jon Moxley kind of right a little bit. I liked that fire in him, and I liked that it continued telling that story. Kevin Knight got surprisingly little offense in this main event match. He got it some in at the beginning because he jumped Omega before the bell during the main event introductions.
Mm-hmm.
And then he got a little bit in towards the end when he hit that big coast to coast.
Yeah.
And then that was most of it.
Yeah.
Like about 80% of this match was Kenny Omega asserting what he was talking about earlier in that promo on Collision, that there is a big gap between being TNT champion and being ready to be the champion of the world.
Yeah. And I think that sub-story really dominated that. Yeah. Yes.
And did a really good job of illustrating that.
Yeah. Really good. So he was kicking the shit out of Kevin Knight, man.
Yeah. And Kevin was, and he was bumping like a maniac.
Yeah, he was.
He was practically Gumby in there.
Yeah.
Like, he was just flipping and flopping all over the place.
If he went any harder on the bumping, I would have made the Michaels Hogan comparison.
Yeah. Like, it wasn't
ridiculous, but it was.
No, it was in service of the match. It wasn't in protest of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was something. And then Kenny Omega tries. He likes missing and getting countered from the one-winged angel twice before he hits it in his matches. He always likes to do it in the threes. He likes the rule of three.
Yeah.
But he gets it on Kevin Knight here. Like it was a good match. Probably Kevin Knight's best, I would have to say. Probably not Kenny Omega's best, but definitely Kevin Knight's.
Yeah.
And then afterwards, the real fun begins. Because the Death Riders hit the ring. They've been omnipresent throughout this entire show.
Yeah.
And they beat the hell out of them. And it looks like we were talking a little bit about it earlier. It looks like they were going to Pillmanize him.
Yeah.
Have Claudio do it. And then Will Ospreay, who wasn't with them when they ran out, runs in and stops Claudio from doing it. And then Yuta, I want to say that this mirrors what they did with Yuta when they were initially attacking Bryan Danielson.
Yeah. Yeah, they hugged him and drug him off.
They hugged him and they distracted him so that the others could attack Danielson with impunity. But Ospreay had seen the show, and he was aware of the meta knowledge, and he let go of the hug, and he stopped Claudio right before he was going to hit Kenny. He takes the chair away, and he starts swinging for the fences at everybody.
Yeah.
Mox comes in, hands behind his back, and calmly talks him into giving up the chair. And then he hands him from his pocket a plastic bag, just like the one they used to attempt murder on Bryan Danielson twice.
Yeah.
He hands it to Ospreay and insists that he kill his hero. And Ospreay's so good here. He's shaking. He's really hamming it up. The best part is that he tries to tear it in half in defiance, and he can't quite.
Yeah,
he can't quite get the bag.
Winner of the night, the bag.
So he's like,
right.
Apparently, hand strength wasn't one of the things that he was learning with the Death Riders and all of their training. Not. But he just absolutely blasts Mox in the face with an elbow, puts him straight on his ass, and then single-handedly just kills the rest of the Death Riders one after another. Boom, 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 boom. You're out of the ring. You're on your ass. You're over the top. Like, he proves that they did craft the perfect weapon, basically.
Yeah.
Because this one guy just dispatched the entire group by himself. He chasing them off. He gets his hand on the chair. He chases them off. And then Kenny Omega finally comes to. He kind of surveys the scene. He's disoriented. He tentatively, tensely accepts Ospreay's very sincere apology. They didn't want it to go this far. I'm not who I want to be. I don't want to. That wasn't what I signed up for, etc. They shake hands really tensely, and then they go pose in the corners. Omega's music hits, and they come down and they go to opposite corners. And right as the camera is focused on Will Ospreay and nowhere near the other corner that Omega was supposed to be standing in, Omega sneaks up behind him, puts him on his shoulders off the turnbuckle, and hits him with the one-winged angel. Oh, the Young Bucks had tried to come out and interfere too, but they got put down by the Death Riders before Ospreay got there. That's important because they get up now, and they're not sure how to react to this.
I wasn't sure how to react to this. I was like, "What the fuck is happening? What the fuck?
I knew something was happening. I was having butterflies for like this entire last 10 minutes of the show as this was going on. I was like, oh, I thought it was going to be Will though.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was going to be Will. Like even when he was chasing everybody off and beating up the entire Death Riders, I thought he was going to turn on him because he was going to do it for him and not for them.
Yeah, but no, it was Kenny. And the great thing about this is I get where Kenny is coming from. Oh yeah, I mean to keep my world title.
I completely understand. He was out that whole time. He got beat up by the Death Riders. Ospreay had been running with these guys, even when across the show from Dynamite and Collision, they had been doing heel stuff that Ospreay just didn't want to touch. He didn't want to get his hands dirty. He didn't want to acknowledge it, but they were doing that stuff and showing who they were. And throughout this show, they would show backstage, and Moxley had his little argument with Will about, if you won't pull the trigger, then I will. And he's been dogging Kenny Omega for weeks about the true Kenny Omega and how leopards don't change their spots and this, that, the other thing. So I understand where Kenny is coming from and not trusting Will Ospreay, especially since he was unconscious during that entire sequence where Will dispatched them by himself.
Yeah.
Do I think this is a heel turn?
No.
I think this is two baby faces that are developing an issue, a personal issue that is rooted in real life insecurity. Well, not real life, but emotions that are real as opposed to the pantomime that wrestling usually employs.
Right. Yeah, I mean, I didn't know what to think of it, but I mean, all I can think is like it's just Kenny Omega saying, I mean to keep my title. It's not a given that you're going to win this belt,
Yep.
And I would prefer them to keep it that way because I believe right now that it is a given that he's going to win that belt, But like I'm also like I don't really want it to be that sure going into it,
My feeling is this: I'm intrigued. I like that this has taken a turn that I didn't see coming.
Yeah.
I kind of wonder what you do with Mox now.
Good question.
Because you've got the biggest show of the year with your Continental Champion who hasn't really been focusing on defending it. He's been focusing on this storyline. And now it seems like the storyline no longer focuses on him being a participant.
Yeah.
So what do you have Jon Moxley do it all in?
Good question.
I am really, really intrigued and excited to see how they follow up on this on Dynamite on Wednesday. Because that now that their biggest show is the next one on the horizon, they're really going to ramp things up.
It's about to ramp up, yeah. It's about to be... This Dynamite's probably going to be a banger, dude. I'm kind of excited.
Yeah, me too.
We only know one match, and I'm like, fucking, what's happening, man? I got to know, like...
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know much about the card. But I do know that the Motor City Machine Guns are probably going to come in, and I'm excited for that.
I am too. Detroit, their no competes up. Like, here we go.
Yep.
Time to kick that tag division into high gear.
Absolutely.
Oh yeah.
Well, all right. Good. Well, that was your week.
Yeah. good pay-per-view overall, good week of wrestling overall. Can't wait to get to next week, and that's always kind of the point, is to get you wanting more. They have successfully done that. So I thought everything was pretty good this week. So yeah, that was the show for this week. Thanks you guys for joining us and listening with us. Thank you to Gary Denning for our theme song. Thanks Weirwood for our background music. Thanks Team Disaster Planning Prognostic Pedals for our sponsorships as always. You guys be safe out there. Keep your head on a swivel. The dangerous world. It's hot as hell. Stay inside. Get your AC on. Like, oh my God. And, try to stay healthy out there. And as always, Buckeyes.
Buckeyes. Peace.